touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up! Oscar!
Is your closet organized? Let's face it, most closets are cluttered and a hassle to organize, but that's just because they aren't designed around your specific needs. One Bath & Closets works closely with you to design your space where it makes sense for you and clears the clutter away. From shoe racks, baskets, seasonal storage, mirrors, drawers, cubbies, and doors, One Bath & Closets can make your dream closet a reality. Go with an industry leader in bathroom and now closet remodeling. Visit onebathandclosets.com to sign up for a free in-home consultation. That's onebathandclosets.com.
Are you experiencing fatigue, low libido, and muscle loss? Rejuvame specializes in testosterone therapy. You'll meet in person with a nurse practitioner who will make recommendations based on your lab work. Testosterone therapy at rejuvamemedical.com. That's REJUVIME medical.com.
At Custom Colors Body and Paint, we're excited to have Will Rapp and Ian McKnight on our team. They're continuing the tradition of exceptional service that Billy Rapp and Pete McKnight began back in 1987. Custom Colors, located in the Industrial Plex off Segan.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Thursday, May 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 83. In hour one of today's show, we'll break down SEC baseball standings, and we'll take a first look into the LSU-Texas A&M matchup this weekend. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo! What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Go OTB! T-Bob Jake, Elijah Villarreal, and Taylor Shough hanging out with you today. Got a good show planned for you today. A lot to get to. We'll talk a little LSU A&M to start here. Quick little preview of how things have gone for the two teams this year. Then we know where Tyler Shough ate his first meal, guys. Big news, and it's way different than that bum Derek Carr. We also, I want to celebrate Cam Ward today and tell you Cam Ward's full story. You know, one of my great regrets of this past week. I came out, and I think we touched on it yesterday, but is that, you know, we all we did was talk about Shough, and lost in the sauce was the incredible story of Cam Ward, one that should be trumpeted and told to young kids everywhere about what's possible and whatnot. And Jeff Howe in The Athletic before the draft had a really good write-up about his journey, and so we'll break that down, right? Because that's one of the bad parts of this business sometimes, is that we get hyper-focused on someone's failure as opposed to someone's success. But we're going to do that. We're going to Coach Tarina coming up, Coach Jay Johnson coming up at 8:30. Ruben's going to join us for the last hour of the show today instead of tomorrow. So it's going to be a fun show. If you want to get involved, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Hit the like button. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I made a bad husband mistake here. After doing the kid switch at gymnastics yesterday. Oh. Nope. I accidentally left the shoes in my car. And so it looks like I'm going to cause my daughter to be tardy, and my family is all displeased with me, which, yeah. Yeah. I almost had it, too. I almost had it. I went back and I got all the backpacks out.
Yeah.
I told myself I was going to go get those shoes out, and the day got away from me. I blame freaking stupid Jim Rome. Idiot. Because that's what I was thinking about. I had that show to do. God.
I was about to pull out of the neighborhood this morning, and I saw the trash pickup pull into the neighborhood, and immediately knew I forgot.
Did you turn around?
I did.
Okay.
I did
Hell
turn
yeah,
around.
dude. Okay, good call.
I did. I turned around. I was like, nope, nope. No, sir.
Man. Dang it. Anyway. Alondra, what's up? How you doing today?
Seems like I'm doing better than you. But
I'm not in a bad spot. I just feel like an a-hole. I'm trying to be, you want to be.
What shoe? Like just
can never get the
regular
help
shoes?
Yeah, just regular shoes.
She only has one pair.
I guess so. You'll maybe.
You'll kind of
You'll understand. It somehow fluctuates. Can't explain it.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll be overflowing in shoes, and sometimes they're.
Well, I was gonna say also they'll find one that fits, and they like the way it fits, and even though they got 73 other options,
They only wear those.
I want those.
Yeah.
Those shoes that I can't have right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So it's
You always want what you can't have.
That's right.
Yeah.
You never grow out of it, I guess.
True. It's one of the base parts of being a human.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Chick-fil-A.
Sunday. Always.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Again, y'all chicken. Opening up soon. It's
Y'all
just Chick-fil-A, but open up on Sunday.
Why y'all?
I think it was supposed to be a play. Again, the name could probably be workshopped. I think it was supposed to be a play on all, because it's all chicken.
Okay.
Like the whole menu's just chicken, but
Yeah.
you're trying to make it Southern.
Okay.
Tay, what's up with you, dude? How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing good. We had a little birthday dinner for a buddy of mine last night, so we had a good time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Keeping Hooters of Louisiana in business.
Well,
How about
remember,
that, huh?
Hooters
That's
of
a choice.
Louisiana is thriving.
Well, I mean, it wasn't my birthday, so it wasn't my choice, but yeah.
But
I didn't
was,
say it was your
remember,
choice.
She just said it was a
It was
choice.
just a
It
choice.
was, yeah.
When
And
we
it's
put
on,
our-
Very
on a Wednesday,
defensive.
on a Wednesday night.
Well, I mean, Wednesday's actually Wings Day.
That's true.
Yeah, no, it.
Did
it
they have a
was.
special? They
Yeah,
usually
it was
have
like
something.
so. It was like $10.99 for a dozen or something like that.
Well, that special's gone downhill because when I was in college, I was pretty sure that it was like $5 all you could eat wings or something.
Oh,
Something like
man.
that, yeah.
Even though they used to do that, and we kept showing up every Wednesday, and they literally changed it during our streak of showing up there because Herman Johnson was just eating entire flocks of chickens.
Yeah.
So he's to blame for.
I mean, I played my role.
Yeah.
But Herman
I'm sure
was
you
much
did.
bigger and much more noticeable.
What a massive
me.
human being that guy was.
I mean,
I saw
biggest
this tweet.
baby in Louisiana and all that.
Yeah.
I saw this tweet about some random tweet, and some wings at some place were $5 for $2 all night long. And somebody was like, "You'd have to drag me out by my neck out of that place. You'd have to drag me out by my neck."
And it
If
sucks
it was
because
$5 for
$5
all
for
you can eat.
$2 is a good deal, but
$5 all you can eat.
well, I mean, and
Can't
I
beat
might
that.
be making that up. Maybe it was like
Oh.
$20. I don't know. I can't remember.
20 is a big
Five
jump.
or 20. It was either
big
5
jump.
or 20.
It could have been 10. I don't know. The point is, it was a good
It
deal.
was a
that they ended
number.
up-
You paid
ended up-
an amount and
they
got all
ended
you
up
could eat.
shutting it down because it was too good of a deal. But it just sucks, man. Something about wings.
Bro.
They shouldn't be over 25 cents a wing. But here we are. They're like dollars a wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else I miss from our college days that doesn't exist anymore was the Walk-On's Cookie Bowl.
I don't think I
Wait,
ever had
that
it,
sounds
actually.
amazing.
Oh my gosh, it was just like chocolate chips on the bottom, loaded ice cream on top. It was a warm cookie too. I mean, whipped cream, cherries, hot fudge. I mean,
sounds-
I need that in my life.
Right up your alley.
me, Flynn, Will Arnold, Richard Dixon would go smash cookie bowls. Like sometimes not even get food, just straight cookie bowls.
I think the only thing of walk-ons that I think of is like being like, okay, I'm here and I have to have it because I'm here. Were always just the fries, the cheese fries.
Well, yeah, I mean I've never been there when that wasn't ordered.
Yeah,
not one time.
Some of that tasty ranch. All right, so I want to do a quick overpass of Texas A&M. So let's go ahead and get this show started.
It's time to get to work, courtesy of Tiger Labor and Staffing, where they can help take care of screening, training, payroll, and more. Now, for starters.
Tiger Labor and Staffing provides reliable local staffing solutions for warehouse, construction, and manufacturing positions. Whether you need help with temporary labor or long-term hires, they got you covered with skilled, dependable workers. Locally owned and operated, they're proud to serve Baton Rouge area businesses with fast, flexible service. So if you're dealing with no calls or no shows this morning, you're short-staffed, give them the call today and let Tiger Labor and Staffing meet your workforce needs. All right, so real quick, I've got some numbers on the A&M LSU series all-time here. And why am I looking at the papers? I don't need that for this. And it's kind of interesting. It's very close. LSU leads the all-time series against A&M 28-26. LSU's 12-11 in College Station. How about this? The last 10 matchups, 5-5. Very even. The last game they played last season, A&M coming away 14-4 winners. However, that was after losing the series the first two games in Baton Rouge. Last time LSU went to College Station, 2023, you actually won that series as well. So the Tigers hitting the road, looking to make it 3 series in a row against an A&M team that started awfully, is desperate, and is playing much better. In fact, if we look at last season, everything's just flipped, right? Because when LSU and A&M played last year, LSU was the one who, I'm trying to remember the exact timing of it. Was A&M the first series after the first 15? It was like, was it the series? It doesn't really matter, actually, because the point is, LSU was the team that had been highly heralded, fallen apart, then was desperate and had to have a series win, and they went and got, like, all of the dynamics are completely inverted this year with A&M being in that position. And the question is, can LSU do what A&M did not last year?
This is like, so when you take a look just at who A&M is and who they've been, it's a weird series because they were number one in the preseason, and then they were awful, and then they were really good, and then they get swept. But they get swept by the number one team in the country, the number one team in the SEC. It's not even close, and they were all close games.
One-run games,
So, like, the mindset for this series is the most intriguing thing to me because, Jay Johnson does as good as a job as anybody in getting his team ready. But, you see the record and you see 8 wins in the SEC. It's like, well, you hope LSU's players understand like just what this is. Because just because you lose the series, by a total of 3 runs against the number one team in the country, like this team has figured things out. So like even like looking at the SEC standings where Texas A&M is next to last in batting average, and you could go down the list of categories next to last in hits.
You're not going to find anything terribly impressive statistically from A&M this year.
Right, so you see all of that, and you're like, oh, LSU should be fine. LSU should go get 2 or 3 on the road in College Station. But this baseball team, talking about the Aggies, they have figured a lot out. And if they're one of those teams, if they somehow, some way get to 13 wins and make it to a regional, they're going to be a 2 seed somewhere, and that 1 seed's going to hate their life as soon as they see it.
Yeah, because of the potential.
Yeah.
Because of the potential. But that, again, that is the thing is, well, 2 thoughts. One that we played with yesterday. How does A&M respond to what just happened against Texas? Because when you add in the Schlossnagle factor, that is a series that could break you. Like whatever run, whatever spurt you had, that is so disappointing, so bitter. So that it could maybe make you kind of toss your hands up and say, what does it matter anyway? Or you approach it like, okay, well, look, now there is no margin of error. We're completely desperate. We're wounded, but we're going to come out fighting, right? When is the old wounded animal most dangerous? When it's backed into a corner. So we'll see what A&M's we'll see where their heads are at in that regard. As far as LSU goes, I don't think it's like, I think because A&M was so highly heralded preseason and because they just won the series at Tennessee, at Arkansas, like I don't see how LSU could come into this game half-stepping, right? And they're on the road in College Station. Like the Tigers, I'm sure, are cognizant of the challenge that they're going to be facing. Statistics be damned when it comes to what they. It's just a matter of whether or not they can perform. I mean, it's a brutal league. What happened the last time you hit the road? You got swept by an Auburn team that is good, but is not as good as you. So,
right.
Yeah, it's we're gonna see. But there are some interesting. There's some, like you said, there's nothing that's really going to jump off the page for A&M, but you can start to see maybe why they've struggled a bit. And one area is they just don't strike people out. In fact, this might be the biggest kind of statistical difference between the two teams. LSU second in the SEC with 512 Ks, rocketing past Tennessee after last week's series, by the way. But 512 Ks, A&M 15th, only 376. The pitching staff just not getting on. Texas A&M, like bad teams do, shooting themselves in the foot. Second to last, only to Missouri in terms of fielding percentage. And then you mentioned like team ERA, batting average. It's all kind of lower half of the SEC. Also, Jake, it's one of those deals where I'm used to looking at the A&M lineup these last few years and being kind of intimidated by some very big numbers, both average-wise and home run-wise. And you look right now and you got 1, 2. You got 4 guys hitting 300 on the year, but even then, I mean, is Caden Sorrell still? I mean, even then, like some of them coming on later, it's just not. I mean, Terrence Keel second, leading the way at 329. Wyatt Hensler at 311. Lavallette's only down to 291 this year. It's just not the lineup that you're used to seeing over the past few years.
No, I mean, they've had guys, and those guys right now are top 100 prospects in the MLB. They've had guys that absolutely terrify you.
Yeah.
And they've had guys, right there, 2, 3, 4 in their lineup that if you made one mistake, they would completely change the narrative of the game. And even those guys that have that talent for whatever reason for A&M, and you mentioned a couple of them there, they haven't been themselves. It's a new coaching staff. There's a lot of new there for Texas A&M. How do you handle the success that you had a year ago? That's not always easy. Not everybody can do that. So, again, they're very talented, and they can, on a weekend, certainly jump up and bite you. And what they were doing before the Texas series, they were as hot as anybody in the SEC. So they are starting to figure some things out. You got to be careful there. And this is another one on the road, the obvious statement where game number 1, you've got one of the top, I think, 3 best pitchers in the country going for you. It's one of those, we got to go get the first one.
Yeah, can Cade take his level of play that he has when he faces the best guys and lock it in for maybe when he faces not like a necessarily one of the top aces in the conference? Because when you put him against Kyson, when you put him against Liam, damn near perfect. It's been some of the other games where maybe some of the focus has wobbled a bit. But okay, look, are we gonna go to break? I gotta go unlock this car for my wife so they can get the shoes. More OTB coming up next.
Off the bench.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. Gordon McCurtain, Andrew Attorney's there for you when you need them. And look, when you need them, unfortunately, is when you get in an accident because you need to get what you deserve. And, well, turns out sometimes these insurance companies don't like doing that, And they're going to lean on you because they can. They're bigger. They got more resources. You need somebody to fight and advocate for you. That's Gordon McCurtain, Andrew Attorney's. Follow them on social media at Get Gordon. Call 888-8888 or go to getgordon.com.
Yeah, when you go to the website, you can have chat right there on the homepage of the site. A little chat box is going to pull up as soon as you log on to getgordon.com. Cases they can handle for you, past client results, all that on the homepage of the website. Don't forget about what they're doing throughout the state of Louisiana in your local community. To find them on social media, that handle is always going to be at Get Gordon. And also, no matter where you're at, top to bottom, every corner of Louisiana, if you want to get in contact with them, just put your area code followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
.com.
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta. It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Don't go chasing waterfalls, guys. Said it once and said it a million times. Guys, we've been continuing to give ourselves over to Tyler Shough. Did you see where Tyler Shough had his first meal?
Yeah.
As a New Orleans Saint.
Not Chipotle.
Not Chipotle. Fletcher Mackel highlighted in a tweet. If you want to go ahead and bring that up, Tay, so we get some visual representation for all of our wonderful friends watching at youtube.com/1045 ESPN, where you can hit the like button and subscribe to the OTB Saints and OTB LSU channels. But he had his first meal, Tyler Shough did, at Drago's with owner Tommy Svetanovich. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's the good stuff right there. That guy gets it. No Chipotle, a corporation that once had a great product, yet trying to save money in the margins, has continued to sacrifice the customer experience and size of the burrito in pursuit of stockholder dividends. No. This man went to Drago's, where you know what they serve? Oysters. What do you do with oysters, guys?
You shuck them.
You shuck
You
him.
shuck 'em.
Okay? This is going to be great. This is going to be great. This has golden era of the Saints written all over it. We're 15 more years, guys. 15 more, just like Drew Brees. I can feel it in my cojones. Fletcher Mackel was told that the dinner lasted 3 hours and that everyone loved Chuck. Quote, he's smart and polite, but we were most impressed with how respectful and humble he is. Tyler Shough, QB1. Screw you, Derek Carr.
Also, look at the pic. Look how tall our guy is.
He is tall. I mean, look at him. That's a nice cut figure.
Mm-hmm.
What is he?
Has an adorable dog.
6'5"?
6'5", 220, runs a 4.6.
Oh, wait, what kind of dog?
Shucking, right?
A golden retriever.
That's
Y'all didn't
a
see the
good
video,
dog to
the
have.
No, I
golden-
missed it.
Oh my gosh.
wait,
Wait,
drop
let me find
video.
it. Let me find
Yeah.
Can
it.
you Tyler Shough with a golden video?
Yeah,
It's-
here, hang on, I have it.
Okay, it's adorable.
I completely forgot about that.
Green flag. You got a golden retriever. Green flag.
Yeah, that is a good dog
You didn't
breed
go to
have.
Chipotle.
What?
You didn't go to Chipotle. You got a golden retriever.
Yeah.
You're tall.
A lot of green flags.
Yeah.
A lot of green and fast.
Yeah.
4.6. You know?
Look,
at this,
okay,
look
so
at
there he
this.
is getting drafted. Watch the dog going nuts.
Oh,
Beautiful
yeah, that is
wife.
a pretty dog.
Look at that dog.
Is
The
he
dog
married?
wanted in on it.
Yeah,
He's
that's his
definitely
wife,
old enough.
Jordan.
He needs to be married.
Beautiful wife.
Let's
Gorgeous
go.
dog.
QB1. Man,
Look, he was so excited.
there's a
the dog.
lot of blonde in that
Yeah.
video. Even down to the dog. It's a family of golden retrievers.
Yeah.
No, they had people were making funny comments on the video. They're like, the dog realized his treats are about to be upgraded.
Yeah, he finally can afford that Chewy subscription. No, I have no idea.
Or what's the farmer's dog or something like that?
Oh, is that like a? Yeah, I don't know what the high level version.
We
of
have
the, Chewy subscription.
we
would be.
have Bark Box. We have that. That's like a once a month
What, where they
thing.
just send you a box of crap every
Yeah,
month?
Victoria's like
Oh my
has signed up
gosh.
for it, and like literally once a month she'll text me, "Hey, can you go to the mailbox? Frankie's Bark Box is here." I'm like,
Now,
okay.
are these like toys that stand the test of time so they continue to accumulate, or is it like treats that are transient and then move on?
Oh no, I mean we're overloaded with treats right now. Like I mean we got like a bucket just overflows, and then what they do is like at least Bark Box, like they'll give you a toy, and if it's Christmas time, they'll send like a Santa or something like that, and then like Valentine's, like yeah, they keep up with it.
Chris Venable said that dog had a Saints bandana on that same night.
OMG.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
They have all 32 bandanas? Or maybe they probably just had like 6.
They had I think they had a good idea. You know, probably maybe. I mean, I don't know what the pre-draft was like in these other places, but you would have gotten a Steelers one maybe.
A Browns
one for sure.
Derek
Saints
Carr's
one.
probably got like a poodle or a pug
He
or
probably doesn't
something
even
like
have a
that.
dog.
Like Derek's, you know what? You're right. Derek's a cat guy.
Well, let's chill out on that. I mean,
He's probably like a no pet.
Rip.
person.
he's probably
Rip.
a no pet guy. Exactly.
Rip Gerald.
Rip Gerald.
Rest in peace,
indeed.
Gerald.
Rip Gerald.
Pour
forever.
one out for Gerald.
Yeah.
This is big. This is big, guys. Eating at Drago's. I just wonder what he got. If only we could get the reporting on what meal he got, then I could know for sure
Looks like they had
whether
some
or
red
not
wine.
he is the prince that was promised.
It looks like they had some red wine at the table, but other than that,
Oh yeah, you're right.
a little sweet tea.
Who's this guy in front of him? Does anybody know?
This guy or
yeah.
the old guy?
No, that guy.
The one with the U-neck.
I don't know.
Huh. New Balance shorts on. I haven't seen New Balance shorts in maybe ever in a long time.
Who has New Balance shorts on?
That guy.
How can you
How
see
can you
his
see
shorts?
his shorts?
By scrolling down in the picture.
Oh.
The whole picture. No. And then the whole picture. Look at the document. I gotta know. Maybe I got a bigger picture in there.
My first meal in San Diego
yeah.
was at Shough Junior's restaurant.
Okay, that sounds like a perfect place for a newly minted Charger.
Yeah.
To go.
It was right
eat.
by the facility. Yeah.
What
Good
do they
spot.
serve at Shough? Is it like a pokey house?
They had that. They had actually like a bunch of stuff. Like the menu is actually pretty big. They had that, yeah. Sushi as
love
well.
a good poke bowl.
And some good bar food as well.
Hell yeah! Shout out Shough.
Yeah.
I wonder if they still have it since they no longer have the team.
Ooh, I'm gonna check. I didn't think about that.
Leonardo da Vinci says, Nookie says, hot take. Since I didn't grow up in Louisiana, I'm completely free to say this obsession about the first meal is weird AF. Look, it's only weird if you're not intelligent. So I apologize. Because obviously this is no different than Sherlock Holmes, right? When he's trying to solve a case and he sees scratches next to the keyhole, as if who's ever unlocking this door regularly, his hands are shaking, therefore able to deduce that perhaps they have a bit of an alcohol addiction. And when they can't get their hands on it, they get a little shaky, right? And then alcohol addiction leads you to be able to deduce where he was the night of the crime. So yes, no, this is all just clue finding for the hyper intelligence. So I wouldn't expect you necessarily to understand.
Well,
Mookie.
but also, like, what's one of our biggest complaints besides this play that we had about Derek Carr? Like, during the Super Bowl, we were like, oh, Derek Carr is nowhere to be found. The face of your team, the quarterback, is nowhere to be found. He didn't care for New Orleans at all, and we don't like that vibe, right? Like, that's something that we complain about a lot. And then he went to Chipotle for his first meal, and then Tyler Shough comes in, immediately has dinner at Drago's with the owners, is already out in New Orleans. Talking about dying on the field.
You mentioned
Derek
the
Carr
dog
never
with the
said
bandana.
that. The dog with the bandana. Like, this dude is sold. Like, I mean, he's bought in.
Yeah.
And Derek Carr, he was never bought in.
No.
He never wanted to be here. So, like, yeah,
He's
I mean,
a Las
it's pretty,
Vegas mega church guy.
It's pretty right. It's pretty exciting that yes, there's somebody that wants to be here in your quarterback room.
Yeah, so like there's evidence. Like she just pointed to all that evidence. So it's not weird. There's evidence behind it.
Leonardo da Vinci, Nookie, it is the sycophantic media, in this case, covering for this tragic mistake of a draft pick.
The tragic mistake was Derek Carr and Dennis Allen.
Oh, Dennis Allen.
Yeah, Dennis Allen was the ultimately the mistake. I think the tragic mistake of a draft pick thing is interesting because I don't have the confidence in my scouting ability to absolutely say whether or not a quarterback is going to be good in the NFL. Like I don't know. Nobody does.
Nobody does.
These people pay millions of dollars and they don't know.
Yeah.
So like I can offer pre-draft opinions. Like, and I told you, like, just from an instinctual level, I thought Shough as a pick was unexciting. But once it happened, once I heard Coach Teef talk about him, you do start, Jake showed me film yesterday. You start to watch a little more of him, watch a little closer. You see the size, you see the measurables. You hear about how the meetings went. And you kind of start to see the picture of, okay, I get why they're rolling the dice with this guy. And that's what all of these are. It's a roll of the dice. Every single quarterback pick is. But I'm glad for you, Leonardo, that you took a break from designing flying machines to be able to accurately evaluate quarterbacks better than anybody in the NFL.
Well, I will say this, because I post our YouTube videos, so I read a lot of the comments, obviously. There are a lot of people that hate Shough before he's ever gotten a chance. And on the flip side, like, blindly supporting Spencer Rattler. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah, I don't
Look,
really
Spencer
get the
Rattler was thrown
thing.
into a bad situation. It was a makeshift offensive line. The team around him was hurt. I understand that. There were also a lot of head-scratching moments from Spencer Rattler. Like, there are a lot of Saints fans being like, we got to roll with Spencer Rattler. He was 0-6 last year. And again, a lot of that's not his fault, but, like, there's so many people that
don't like Derek Carr.
No, but a lot of people
I know I'm saying, but that's why, because Spencer Rattler became their rallying cry.
I get it.
So now they're locked in.
But there are a lot of people being like,
calcified.
I'm done. I'm good with Shough. Rattler's better. I don't really understand how anyone can say that, but that's a comment that pops up a lot.
I would say this. I'll support whoever wins the job. I think it's great that these two are going to go head to head. I think Shough is pulling from a deeper well of physical potential But I think that Rattler's pulling from more experience. He's got a full year under his belt in which he played significant snaps. He's been locked in the offseason process from day one. He's been out there working, grinding, trying to make himself the starter. So, I'm not so married to either. This is a good thing. Get the old malcontent out of the room and, like it's the Dark Knight, snap the pool stick in half and have the two youngins fight to see who gets in the gang.
Yeah, at
who
least
gets
they're
in the
hungry.
Joker gang.
At least they want it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, no, Rattler or Shough, I don't care who it is. I just love that they will both be pushing one another. Even though, Jake, you can speak to the kind of dynamics at play here. Who has the advantage? It is Shough because of the resources spent? Or is the second rounder maybe not enough where it's like they're not going to put their thumb on the scale too hard for him?
No, I've said it over the last couple of days with draft choices. Now, if you're a first rounder, you're going to get multiple opportunities. But once you get there, it doesn't say what round you were selected on in your helmet. It doesn't. It just piece of tape, Shough, piece of tape, Rattler. And that's what it is, And you'll have a quarterback battle, and you'll have an opportunity to see both quarterbacks. They'll both get reps with the ones. They'll both have to get reps with the twos. And preseason is going to be important, but we always talk about it. The team organically tells you who the starting quarterback is going to be before the coach can tell you. They start to gravitate towards that guy. Like, this guy's making more plays than that guy. And so, training camp is going to be interesting, and, the media that is there is going to be able to tell, all right, this is the guy that they're kind of rallying behind right now. And Spencer Rattler's still going to get his reps, to your question. It's not going to be like, oh, well, we took Tyler in the second round. Spencer, go sit down. It's going to be Spencer Rattler out of the gates in OTAs and minicamps in the lead-in to the season is going to get the first reps with the first team.
Yeah.
And then Tyler's going to have to go prove that with the second team, he's starting to develop, starting to make plays. And then, as I said, he'll start to get some of those first-team reps. It'll be a 12-team period, and Spencer will get 8, and Tyler Shough will get 4. And then what you do with that, right, and then that can change. It could be 6 and 6, and then it could flip on its head where you get 8 and he gets 4.
And so we're going to watch that process play out. I probably disagree with both camps there. I'm going to go independent here. I'm siding with neither party. I just know that I don't want the Cardi party.
Ride the fence.
At this point. Well, yeah. Again,
but I agree with you. Have them compete because healthy competition's a good thing, right? They're both going to raise their level of play. So whoever it ends up being, I don't know. I'm excited.
As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another, right? It's a cliche for a reason. And yeah, Alondra, you're absolutely right in the chat. Look, the Chipotle joke is, well, first a joke, but secondly, it's a thing that at the beginning we made jokes about, but was not a big deal.
Yeah. But
again, then when everything goes as disastrously as it has, that becomes the rallying cry, red flag of, oh, look at what we should have seen it.
Yeah.
Mainly it's a joke, but but it is also kind of like, yes, it is a bit of the principle like that. Like if he played great, then nobody would care.
Right.
It wouldn't be anything. It's only because it was kind of like, it's like that meme with the tiny domino into the big dominoes.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first little domino of evidence that we had for how this thing was going to go down here in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then the big domino is like faking a shoulder injury. Which to be clear, he said he didn't do. So, I don't know. Las Vegas megachurch.
Yeah, I mean, least surprising thing about him ever.
The Vegas
Scam.
megachurch specifically.
Vegas megachurch is like,
yikes.
Look, if you have multiple locations
Yikes.
as a church, you're a megachurch. That's crazy.
When we get back, I want to tell you about Cam Ward. Celebrate Cam Ward. More to be coming up next.
Off the bench.
Hey guys, if you're looking for a perfect beer to watch the Tigers whoop up on the Aggies this weekend, it's time to go for Dos with Dos Equis. That's right, man. A delicious Dos Equis pairs so perfectly with this beautiful spring weather we've been having, with the beautiful baseball, softball that we've been watching. And so when you're at the ballpark, when you're at home, when you're going over the neighbors, you're thinking, man, what am I going to bring with me? Bring a tasty Dos Equis. Get you some limes, some salt, and bring your Dos Equis to the next level. Drink responsibly. Have fun now, but have fun with Dos Equis.
Yeah, it's always a good time to grab one, but now, like you look at it becoming May, like T-Bob said, a little college baseball. The pool's going to start to open up here, going to start making your way to the beach. You probably already have. It is the pool beer. It is the watching baseball, watching sports beer. So go ahead, have fun this weekend, drink responsibly, but go ahead and grab yourself a Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There's always that one person that will always have your heart. You never see it coming 'cause you're blinded from the start. Know that you're that one for me.
Welcome back to more sports talk with some other stuff mixed in. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
You gotta rock and wait in this one. Oh, come on.
See, I don't know about y'all, but I know about us. And it's the
Welcome back. OTB. T-Bob Jacob Hester Taylor hanging out with you today. And okay, so I want to do this as a way of balancing the scales and righting wrongs here, but I wanted to celebrate the story of Cam Ward, because as I alluded to earlier, we fell into that most disappointing of traps when it comes to doing this sort of job, and that is getting hyper-focused on someone's failure rather than someone's success. And when you're talking about Cam Ward's story, you are talking about a story that should be an inspiration to kids everywhere who want to make their dreams a reality. And I'll say credit Jeff Howe of The Athletic for this, because this is where I got really pretty much my sole source for the info here. So you probably heard this. We're going to get a little bit of detail. First off, just his family. Look, he's the youngest of 4 kids. He's from Texas, West Columbia. He's outside of Houston. Jake, this is a guy who in high school was not even the starting quarterback on his high school team as a sophomore.
Yeah.
Now, he was athletic. He was a little chubby. Funnily enough, this is funny. He was 240 in high school, but he actually is his high school's all-time leading scorer in basketball. So you could see the athleticism. You could see the competitive drive. Maybe just like to eat a little bit.
Started on the baseball team, too.
And so, yeah, apparently that is one of the undercurrents here. He always had a rocket arm.
Yeah.
But he wasn't always able to showcase it because what offense did his high school run? The wing tee. So he's not even starting as a sophomore. He finally becomes a starting quarterback as a junior. In 2 full seasons, he only throws 267 passes. And what this means is he had 0 stars coming out of high school. Not 1,
right?
Not 2, literal 0-star recruit. In fact, there was one coach that offered him, and it was Incarnate Word's head coach, Eric Morris. And what's interesting is Morris is actually Coach Bakery's Coach Mahomes.
Yeah.
And he saw Ward throw, and he's like, wait, this guy's got a rocket arm, dude. Okay, nobody's going to, okay, I'll offer him. So Ward shows up to college at Incarnate Word, and they have a quarterback, John Copeland. He's been the starter for the last 2 years. He shattered all the Incarnate Word record books, and he's returning for his junior year. What does Ward do? He walks into Morris' office day one. He says, Coach, I'm going to be the starting quarterback this year. Just walks away, Morris said. Well, lo and behold, after a brief delay from COVID, who was the starter that spring when they had that 6-game season? Cam Ward. What'd he do as a true freshman? 0-star guy. Won the Jerry Rice Award, best freshman in the FCS. So he ends up kicking ass there. Now, Morris, the head coach, he leaves to be Washington State's OC. Cam enters the portal. Things have changed now, though, Jake. He's got interest. He's got offers. Ole Miss comes with a pile of money. Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss, major football. Cam Ward, though, says, look, you didn't want me then, you don't get me now. And he takes significantly less money to go to Wazoo, all the way up to Pullman, friggin' Washington. And he locks in. And in 2 years, he throws for 7,000 yards, 48 touchdowns, just completely kicks ass. Then he's like, okay, do I go to the NFL? Do I stay in college? Then he starts testing the waters in the NFL. They tell him he's going to be a middle-round pick. He's like, no. I mean, the same guy that walked into the office as a 0-star recruit and said, I'm going to start and beat out the guy who's breaking records right now. That same guy said, I should be the number 1 quarterback. You're telling me I'm going to be middle rounds? I'm going back to school. Also, little side note here. Apparently him and Shough have been tight this entire time. And Shough was one of the main reasons why he came back to school, because they liked competing against each other and talking to each other and seeing who is better, blah, 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 whatever. So those videos are not out of nowhere.
Texas.
Yeah, those videos are not out of nowhere. So he decides, okay, I'm going to go back to college. I got something left to prove. And he goes to Miami. And this next line is why Cam Ward went from, during the pre-draft process, this is why Cam went from being maybe the best quarterback, maybe a franchise quarterback, to easily the number 1 overall pick, and the Titans are so comfortable with believing in him, is because of stuff like this. So he gets to Miami. The first thing he does is ask for pictures and names of everyone in the building. Not the players, not just the players at least, but, equipment, training, everybody. He shows up day 1. He's calling everybody by their first name. Everybody's blown away. What else does he do? He requests a locker in the locker room with the most foot traffic so he can get to know the team faster. So he can be jawing with the boys. And if you saw, there's a great clip after the draft of, I think, his guard from Miami was like on FaceTime with him, and they're celebrating together. And you can just tell that he gets it. And here's what Shannon Dawson had to say about it. He said, quote, he's got the best personality in the world. He understands interpersonal relationships and how all that stuff matters in the grand scope of things. He understands that quarterback is a very dependent position, so he needs guys around him to do their job. So that's why Cam Ward made it, guys. And there's so many lessons to be learned there, right? Self-belief, overcoming adversity, a consistent work ethic and drive to prove people wrong, relying on your teammates no matter the business, interpersonal relationships. The story of Cam Ward is incredible. From 0 stars to the number 1 pick in the NFL. That's insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed sitting down, and I never really had a chance to meet him, but we sat down with him for about 15 minutes on Wednesday of last week, and EJ's been telling me about him because he works out at the same gym that EJ works out down in Miami, and so he's gotten to know him really well, and big fan of his. And he was telling me like last March. I remember he covered their spring game for the ACC network. He's like, "Look, I'm just telling you, Cam Ward at Miami is going to be different," and it was. But his mentality was incredible. Loved every answer, on air, off air, like completely locked in. Like Tennessee made the right selection. There was no doubt by the end of the process, he was the only quarterback that was worthy of being in that conversation of being drafted that high. He's going to be a day one starter. I mean, no disrespect to Tim Boyle or Brandon Allen or Will Levis, but like it's his franchise now. I mean, Warren Moon allowing you to wear number 1 kind of speaks to what the organization thinks of you.
So shout out to Cam Ward. Wanted to celebrate your story. And kids, remember, don't give up. Believe in your dreams. You probably won't end up as the number 1 pick, but it can't hurt, It can't hurt. All right, let's close out hour number 1 next.
Off the bench.
Go to Pelican Roofing, guys. I'll tell you more about the Run with Rufus promotion a bit later, but right now I want to tell you about South Louisiana's roofing experts, most trusted roofing experts that over the last decade have really grown to be an industry leader, right? Over 7,000 roofs completed, over 500 5-star reviews. You can go read them. And look, I would say some of the common denominators are the attention to detail at every step of the process, from answering the phone all the way through to cleanup, dedicated project managers on each and every site. If you need a roof, you need Pelican Roofing, go to pelicanroof.com.
When you go to the website, over there on the right side, blue tab, the instant roof quote. You go there, you put in your address, right? It's going to find your home. It's going to outline your home, give you an idea of what it's going to cost for your roof, an incredible tool that nobody else has out there. Check it out, pelicanroof.com.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
You know what was crazy about yesterday, guys? It's so funny doing this job, how things line up. But we had the perfect yin and yang storylines yesterday where on one hand, you had an incredibly immature son doing something very embarrassing in Jack Solbrick that his father, Jeff Solbrick, had to sit up there and take responsibility for and smooth over, et cetera, et cetera. And the same day, you had an incredibly immature action by someone's father in Halliburton, whose son had to sit up there on the podium and smooth things over and take responsibility for it. Like, what a fun little, a fun little echo of one another, a little inverted echo, a little bizarro world there.
Hopefully Tyrese won't have to pay $100,000 for that, but
yeah, I mean, Jake, you mentioned
is it
that
100 or
150?
150?
So the family, the Ulbrich family, got fined $100K.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And the Falcons got fined $250.
Okay, I was thinking about this last night. Why are the Falcons being fined more than Ulbrich? Not their fault.
Because they have more money.
It's probably like their iPad.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking, this is your coach. You should be able to trust that guy that info is not going to come out.
It's not Jeff's fault either. It's Jax's fault.
Yeah, it's that little turd's fault.
Yeah. It's Jax's fault.
Yeah, but it's more Jeff's fault than the Falcons' fault.
And how dumb.
Draw and quarter him in the plaza, actually.
The thing that sucks is that Jacksons with an X were so hot. I mean, Dart just had gotten drafted first round.
This is very
and
much
here
Jax
comes
with an
Jax
X
just
behavior.
screwing it up
But
for
also
all the other
going
Jacksons
by
with an X.
Like
my Jackson is with a CK.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
there
Like,
you
this
go.
is
Pointed
major
out
Jax
there.
with
That's
the
the way
X
that the
behavior,
Lord
actually.
intended
I
it to
know,
be
but they were
spelled.
breaking those stereotypes. Dart just went first round for good pre-draft processing, and then this guy shows up.
Yep, I agree.
Beth Tarina coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, Refreshing. Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
We're sure to have the right ride for you.
Shop BayouFord.com and BayouCDJR.com. Or come see us just off I-10 in LaPlace. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Do you plan to travel, work part-time, or move somewhere warmer when you retire? At Edward Jones, we understand that no two retirement paths are the same. Contact your local financial advisor today.
In Baton Rouge, call Tony Boudreau. In Gonzales, call John Dawes. And in Denham Springs, call Stephanie Campo.
Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Thursday, May 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 83. In hour two of today's show, LSU softball coach Beth Torina hops on at 8 o'clock, and then at 8:30, LSU baseball coach Jay Johnson joins the show. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number two of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
They said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo! What's up, y'all? Hour number two of OTB. And it's Thursday. And every Thursday at 8 a.m., we are lucky enough to be joined by head coach of your LSU softball team, Coach Beth Torina, fresh off a massive series win against those damn dirty Gators. First time since 2019, taking Florida down, absolutely love it, and doing it back against the wall style. Coach Torina, what's going on? How we doing today? Happy game day.
The damn dirty Gators is cracking me up. So.
DDG.
If I've said it once, we've said it a million times.
DDG, you already know.
Yeah.
But okay, so and there's a lot I want to get to, including the rapid turnaround time here with the kind of the Saturday start last week into Thursday day. But Saturday, game one does not go well. Okay, ends in a big number. At that point, that was kind of back against the wall time. Then you come out. Close game two, 2-1 winners, absolute tooth and nail battle. And then in the rubber match, getting it done, huge 6 inning, putting your own big number up. How proud of you were you of your team fighting back after that game one disappointment?
Yeah, it was incredible. It was an incredible series. It was huge for so many reasons. I mean, just the implications in the SEC, the implications for our team for postseason, the fight they showed. We got a really nice performance out of Sid Burzon. So it was a really, really big series for us, for sure.
I mean, Coach, the 2-1 game was incredible. I mean, that was really well pitched by both teams, but certainly what y'all were able to do in the circle there, only giving up 2 hits to a Florida team. And you mentioned Sid there from the other game, but I mean, just really all weekend. And it was everybody, but that performance, I mean, giving up 2 hits to that team, striking out 4, had a couple of free passes, obviously, but still just keeping them from scoring. That was a dominant performance against a lineup that doesn't get held like that very often.
It really was. I think that was probably the deepest lineup we've seen all year. I mean, it like never stopped, just kept going. I mean, they hit a home run out of the 9-hole, it just seemed to like never end. So really, really deep lineup, really talented offense. So to see her do that was just really, really special. That's the Sid we've all come to know. So it's nice to see her get back to her normal form.
Yeah, and it's great to see it this time of the year, especially. So that series wraps up on Monday night with the big win. Now, turn around very quickly. Series starts tonight against, imagine this, another top 10 ranked SEC softball team, this time in the Arkansas variety. What is the process like? What is the turnaround there, Coach? Ending the series on Monday and then quickly hitting the road for a Thursday series, final series of the regular season.
Yeah, we definitely were the product of some tough scheduling this year for sure. I mean, back-to-back in Texas and then having to get the Monday, the week that the whole SEC turns around and plays on Thursday. Tough. I'm sure Florida feels the same today, but getting our team on the road here yesterday was tough. Of course, we wanted one more day to prep, and we would have loved 4 more days to prep, but It is what it is. So we're going to come out and give them our best shot tonight. Getting a little more practice in this morning at their place. Got rained out here last night on that, but trying to get them prepped as much as we can. And, I think the team's in a good spot. When I got to the ballpark Monday, the team was so incredibly loose, just like hanging out another day. Like that's kind of how this group is. They're unfazed. So it was fun to see them be like that and then go out and have that big win. So hopefully more of the same tonight.
And I know that softball's much different too in terms of arms and rest and the amount of games. I mean, a player could throw an entire weekend. But when it comes to like in between series with that rest, does this affect Sydney at all? The quick turnaround? Do you have her in the training room extra time? Like how do you kind of make sure that everybody's bodies physically are ready to go with that shortened rest?
Yeah, I think that's a real thing. Normally we're doing some recovery stuff on our off day typically, but we didn't even get the off day this week. The off day got bumped all the way to Sunday. So had to turn around and practice right after the Florida series. So it is something to think about, try to be careful with them and not overdo it, not do too much, but still want to give them that opportunity to get prepped, right? And like have some time to really like think about what they're going to see. I mean, the Arkansas throws a lefty that's pretty talented and having a good year. So trying to get prepped for that and just making sure that they're ready, but still being conscious of, how taxing it is on their bodies.
Coach, when you are facing like a lefty, right, and it's not something they see all the time, how do y'all go about trying to make sure that you're prepared for that?
Oh, we got all kind of bells and whistles, You should come over. I'll feed the machine for you. I'll feed the machine.
Oh, now, Coach, I'm a lefty myself. I mean, it might be a little close there in the box.
Yeah, true.
I mean, Bryce has all kind of crazy stuff dialed up with the way. I mean, they're shooting machines from all angles and directions. He's got like tarps covering the machine so you can't see which way the ball shoots. And I mean, we've got all kind of stuff that we're using to help get them prepped. A lot of stuff in motion, so they're not standing around, like hitting off tees or anything. We got like 100 machines going in practice. We use every cage lane available and the field every time we hit. So we're like, got the 5 indoor, we got 3 outdoor. We're using all the lanes. I mean, it's pretty crazy to see the setup that he's going with for the offense, but he's done an incredible job, and the offense has been really, really incredible.
Coach, one player that we haven't mentioned a lot on these appearances is Tori Edwards.
Well, shame on you.
I know.
You should be mentioning her.
Well, exactly, right? Just named a top 25 finalist for the Softball Player of the Year award. One of, now to show you how good the conference is, one of 12 players out of the SC there, but leading the team currently 423 batting average, 68 ribbies, 18 home runs, setting single season, a 901 slugging percentage. What has Tori Edwards meant to this team this year?
Yeah, it was cool to see her get put on the freshman top 25 list, but to make the top 25 list of the entire country as a freshman is just incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible. And you know what she can do is so special. She's so athletic. She's so she can run, she can hit. You know, these weight room numbers that she puts up are just crazy. You know, she has like contests with her brother who was on the football team this year, right? Like, she can like hang with some of these numbers. It's pretty crazy. But I think that the coolest thing about her is how smart she is and how in tune she is with the game. Like, she understands how to have an at-bat. That's a big part of who she is. Like, she studies and she knows what's coming, and she's, you know, just really smart in the box and has a great feel of an at-bat. So that's a big part of what's making her so great, too.
I mean, you could argue maybe the second most important player from Marcus High School on LSU's campus. Garrett Nussmeier, also same high school coach.
Oh, I had no idea. I did not know that. That's
They're
crazy.
both from Flower Mound,
Tori,
Texas.
okay, let's go, man.
That's Tori. Tori's like his little sister. I mean, they're like, he and her brother are best friends, and they're really close with them. So a lot of LSU connections there in that group. But I know he's proud of Tori too, because she's having an incredible year. She's making all of us really, really proud. We're lucky to have her.
And Coach, if I'm not mistaken, you know, redshirted a year ago. So, like, in that year, what as a coach, like, what could you see? Could you see like things that you're like, okay, well, this is going to translate, this is going to work out? Just, you know, having that time to kind of learn and sit and develop.
Yeah, well, she was hurt, so she didn't
Right.
do a ton last year, you know. She was, like, pretty limited around the field, and I think it was frustrating for her because she wanted to be out there. But I think we always knew we had this incredible athlete. I mean, just the numbers that this kid puts up in name a category, whether it be the weight room or exit velocities or stat speed or name a category, and she's off the chart. I mean, and she runs well, too. You know, she's one of our best base runners, base stealers. I mean, the things that she's capable of on a softball field are just incredible and very, very rare.
Well, if you want to watch Tori Edwards play tonight, you got one more regular season conference with series to do so, and it's going to be Arkansas on the road in Fayetteville tonight. Series starting. Check it out. Coach, thank you so much for making some time for us, especially here on game day, and best of luck to you and team over the weekend.
Thank you so much. You guys are the best. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Beth Torina, head coach of your top 10 LSU softball team, and yet another top 10 matchup. Now over 500 in SEC play as well, in the hyper competitive SEC. 18 homers for Tori Edwards. Sheesh. All right, when we get back, Taylor wants to talk about Harold Perkins, and then we got Jay Johnson coming up at 8:30. So keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Go Tommy's.com. Go Tommy's.com. You need Hardy Plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows. You need any type of door. You need Tommy's. And what you're going to get is you're going to get a process that is defined by integrity, dependability, efficiency, and professionalism. Insane. Look, there's a reason why. Now, Tommy has 30 years of experience, but after 20 years at another place, he said, you know, I want to do this on my own. I got some things I do differently. And the reason why the company's taken home the Angie Service Award all 8 years it's been in existence, because how pleased their customers are with the final product. So take your home to the next level with Tommy's.
Yeah, go to the website, gotommys.com, like T laid out, and you can check out what they can do for you. You can see past client results. You can see testimonials as well from very happy customers. Remember, though, they can customize your job to what you're looking for. Go to the site, schedule everything today, gotommys.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
Joe cracked the dawn,
Welcome to the 7th ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. We got Jay Johnson coming up next. But before that, Taylor, you linked an article from Newsday where they were looking at players to watch for every SEC team. And they highlighted Harold Perkins. And I understand why. And I want to get your take on it. But I'll say this on Harold Perkins right now is, in my mind, I'm kind of at the point where I'm going to sit back and, instead of hyping him up for an entire offseason, instead of talking about him too much here, I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to hope for the best, right? I'm going to try to remove some of my personal expectation for being set upon this man and just hope for the best and see if we can build on what was that incredible year one in which he won you a couple of games with his play. But this article has him as the player to watch. How are you feeling about Percules going into this year?
I think you were taking the correct approach on it. I think it's just, hey, wait and see. Because, look, every year since his freshman year, we've been excited about it. It didn't work out as the middle linebacker. He got hurt early in September. So, he was obviously a non-factor after that. But when I look at it, if he's taking over at star full-time, that's big for the rest of the secondary, right? Because that position's already filled. Now, Tamarcus Cooley can focus on safety full-time because that was a thing. Oh, he can play safety. He can also play nickel. You don't need him to do that if you have Harold Perkins. That gives you depth at safety. I mean, I think if Perkins is at star, everybody else can focus on their job around him. I mean, I think it's a big role for him. And if he can take that over, I mean, that could potentially put the rest of the secondary in line.
I mean, I'm with you on the fact that, like, on paper, I do love the star thing. I mean, what we saw, Jake, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but, like, in watching film of Perkins over the past few years, he is not good at taking on blocks from an inside linebacker standpoint. He doesn't deliver the blow. He can be, they stick to him when they get on him, and he looks like he's reading a bit too much. But then I think about some of the plays that he has made, and I just keep going back. Now, I know everybody hated it, but he actually had a sneaky great year in that nickel linebacker role. He had an incredible coverage grade. You think about when he wasn't having to directly take on blockers, somebody tries like a bubble screen or something, and he's in the backfield tripping the guy up, getting a TFL. Like, he needs space. He's not an in-the-box linebacker.
No.
So if you put him around the box, and then you can take advantage of his athleticism and the ability to cover, which he does have. Okay, like I feel like we finally maybe now arrived at what his best role could be.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I don't think we've ever talked about a player so many different times in so many different roles trying to really continue to turn the Rubik's Cube to find the perfect solution and solve the puzzle. But it is the star position. Middle linebacker, he tried it, and we were, hoping that with Blake Baker, like he could, turn him into this Damone Clark type middle linebacker because Blake had done such good things with Damone Clark, and Damone now NFL player and doing great. And that was the hope. And look, he's just not a middle linebacker, right? And for all the things that T-Bob just laid out, he's not an every down rush. He's not. He's not an edge. He's not somebody that can be on the edge, being an every down rusher or whatever he did his freshman year. Like, you can do that in spurts. You can't live there. We've seen it on film for ourselves, but also talking to people and talking to other SEC head coaches that played against him when he was on the edge. They said we would check to run right at him.
Yes.
I have confirmed that on air. It's like we ran right at him because, look, he's 225 pounds, and we are going to have our tackle and tight end combination block go straight through him, and it's no fault to his. He's not built for that. Edges are 270 pounds, not 220 pounds. So he can't live there. He can be there at times, but he can't live there. Okay,
Yeah.
so
third and 13, great.
To every
Sure,
to every person, it's like, put him on the edge. Okay, go watch tape. He is somebody that has great coverage skills, like T-Bob laid out. He can still rush off the edge from the star position. In fact, you can do it a ton. Like, you can really switch it up. Fighting through blocks out there is completely different than fighting through blocks in between the tackles.
A lot more horizontal, a lot more angles you can take advantage of, putting the big guys in space.
And so he's got the athletic ability to be able to go out there and play the star position. I think he's more athletic than the guy that did it last year, Major Burns. Right? Much bigger, but he's more athletic than Major Burns. He can get it done athletically. So it's the best position for him. It's the best position for the team. When he plays at the next level, he is going to be a nickel wheel, and he's going to rush some, but he's not ever going to live on the edge. Just not going to.
Well, and I mean, you look at the inside linebacker room, and it's really come together quite nicely. I mean, of course, you have the emergence of Weeks and his brothers. But Devon Keys was so hot at the end of last year. What other names am I missing?
They love.
Who else was a young guy that played well last year? Who am I blanking?
They love Devon Keys.
Yeah. I mean, Keys was awesome by the end of the year last year.
I'll just tell you, like, having conversations with some of the coaches, it's one of the names that gets brought up more than any.
Okay.
Is Devon Keys.
So Weeks and Keys looking like
he even played star some last year.
He did. And did well.
Played really well there. So it's a very talented room. It's a solid room. Like, it's guys that are going to get it done athletically, but also, like, their mentality and their attention to detail and their assignment.
And I agree with this statement by Daniel here. He says, "How I would love if the LSU defense returned to the form of old. I feel like some of our young players have experience now. I'm interested to see the product." I mean, guys, for a place that for damn near 20 years was built on intimidating elite defense, we've been wandering the desert for a hot minute now, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Bo Pelini into Matt House.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we had oh my God, why am I blanking?
Durante Jones.
Yes, thank you. I was thinking Vikings, yeah.
Even that,
which wasn't great. Now, when he was unlocked and allowed to do his thing, they put together some gems
at
the end of that year. That Alabama game,
you lost,
chief among
God,
them.
it was fun.
But I guess the point is, like, it's been half a decade of not subpar defense. It's been half a decade of awful defense. at a place that was built on incredible defense.
So I went back and I looked. Okay, now this is going way back, but just to give you an idea of what T-Bob's talking about, we're going to go total defense and where LSU was from 2009, right? All the way. I just took the last 15 years.
Yeah,
that was a good sample size. So 2009, you were 11th in the nation in total defense.
Yeah.
2010, you were 12th in the nation.
Yep.
2011, you were second in the nation.
Yeah, it makes
You only
sense.
gave up 260 yards a game.
That was a crazy year. Us and Alabama were giving up like 7 points a game or something.
That's wild. 2012, you were 8th. 2013, you were 15th. 2014, you were 9th. 2015, you were 25th. 2016, you were 10th in total defense. 2017, you were 12th in total defense. 2018, you were 25th. 2019, 31st.
Interesting.
And here's where the wheels start to fall off. 2020, you were 124th.
Good God.
124th.
The Pulini explosion.
2021, you were 65th.
Diarrhea of a defense.
2022, you were 54th. 2023, you were 108th.
Is 22 Durante?
No, that was House's first year, right?
108th? So yeah, like ever since 2019, the wheels just completely. It wasn't a small fall off. It's been a precipitous drop off.
Yeah.
And you've invested. You paid Blake Baker. You paid everybody. Now you lose Bo Davis, but whatever. You've invested in the players. You've invested in the staff. It's freaking time. It's time to have a good defense again.
And so last year, you went from, what did we say, 100, or you were 124th with Matt House in his last year. Blake Baker comes in. You do go up to 56th.
Oh.
So
moving
you
in the
were
right direction.
You were giving up, with Matt House, 492 yards per game. You got better by 120. You go 370 this last year.
I got to give my guy Lon credit from LSU Odyssey, too, because sometimes things are obvious when somebody points them out. You're like, oh, my God. But when you see what these guys do on Sunday, we're going to look back on a team that featured Jaden, Brian, Malik, Will Campbell. And I know I'm missing guys in there, right? But, I mean, all of these top picks that are dominating the NFL, and you never even sniffed a championship. And it's because of that right there.
I look at it, like whenever I look at Baker, I get excited because when he got to Missouri, their defense was in the hundreds.
Yeah.
His first year, they were top 60. The second year, they were top 30.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake just listed, you were top 60 his first year. Can you make that jump again? He did it in Missouri.
Here's to hoping that he can, man. Here's to hoping that he can. Here's to hoping that
You just
LSU.
gotta make sure you don't have any poodles.
I'm not even going to engage with
What?
Madaga.
That's Blake Baker saying. We don't want no poodles.
Madaga. No, that wouldn't be it.
No.
Make defense great again? I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Alondra's a poodle. She ended up missing like right after
Blake,
me. So.
Blake said we got a poodle on the show, and it not the person sitting next to me. That came from Blake Baker.
He said that about Jay?
He said that about you.
Oh, wow.
He didn't say it about me.
Mm.
Also, I bet if Blake Baker knew me, he would not think that I was a poodle. And you also can't say that after you like guilted me into going to Don Juan and I worked the entire day and I went.
You did go.
Yeah.
I was proud of you.
So you can kiss my ass.
Gladly. All right, coming up next here on OTB. I'm into that. Let's talk to LSU head baseball coach Jay Johnson. More off the bench coming up next.
Off the bench.
Hey guys, you looking for look? Maybe you could have a watch party this weekend for the big series. Well, why don't you get into Rouse's and get everything that you need? And I'm not just talking food and drink, though. To be clear, incredible deals going down. Grab you one of the coupon booklets right when you walk in. It's crazy the savings that we have. But look, if you want to buy like platters of food already cooked and ready to go, you can buy platters where you cook them yourself. Like there's a million different ways, but it's also the supplies. You need like chairs, cups, whatever, like plates, like anything. It's all at Rouse's, Louisiana, from the original breakup. And if you want to do some crawfish, well, You can buy them already burled, or you can burl them yourself and take advantage of that $10 hot seafood bar on Fridays. It's $9.99 to stuff a styrofoam box full of all of your most tastiest treats. Rouses!
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972.
You know how we do this. I'm the kind of brother.
Back from the break, where the sports talk gets real. Kinda. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. And, pump up for this, guys. We're so lucky every Thursday here during the baseball season to be joined by LSU head baseball coach Jay Johnson, making time for us each and every week despite his incessantly busy schedule. Coach, what's going on, man? How we feeling this Thursday morning?
Good morning. How are you guys?
I'm freaking great. You know why? Because you beat Tennessee's ass, okay? That's the good stuff, Coach. Hell yes. And I know that yours is not a profession where you stop and smell the roses, right? I get it. Like, you guys are always next pitch, next pitch, next pitch. But if I can ask you for a moment, that Friday game, man, that ninth inning, 1:30 a.m., like, surely that has to be up there with one of the wilder regular season experiences you've ever had.
No doubt. I actually said that, after the game. That's one of the best regular season wins I can remember being a part of. And, there's a lot that went into that. I mean, we were facing, one of the best pitchers in the country and didn't have a lot to show for it early on. But I did think our guys were competing in the box, and it didn't manifest in any runs, but it did in us getting him out of the game a little bit earlier before Cade Anderson, who had an awesome performance also, and forced Nate Snead in the game for just a little longer than he normally goes, and we got him there at the end. And then just that ninth inning was electric. We get a couple good at bats. Dalton Beck, that was awesome. Drives into Tanner Reeves, drew a walk in there, and then Derek Carriol with the 2-strike hit, ripping it through the right side,
Crazy.
and then the big bear after 1 a.m. Man, you love that.
How insane! Because the punctuation mark is not just the walk; it's 450 to dead center. You know what I'm saying? It's not to right. It's not over 450 to dead center.
Over the batter's eye.
1:30 a.m. walk off over the batter's eye. It's legendary. It's one of those games where if you're a fan of the team, you'll remember it forever.
Yeah, and then afterwards, it was kind of funny, because it all happened very fast. I wasn't going crazy. I was just kind of standing there smiling, and it was definitely, we normally shake hands as coaches, after we get a win. That was definitely hey, I hugged every coach on our staff after that. And then I just kind of looked around for a minute, and the place is going crazy, and the guys are going crazy, and there's this rap music I never heard of playing on the loudspeakers. So I was like, this is awesome. Somebody's got to find that song. It was a good song. So, it was a great night. It was a great night.
That's so good. Coach, kind of walk us through maybe Dalton Beck coming up and hitting in that spot, because look, Bear Jones and that highlight's going to play for a very, very long time, and we're all going to remember that. But you're right. As you lay it out, there was things that led to that. And Dalton Beck is somebody that hasn't got a ton of at-bats this year. How clutch was that, and what were the conversations maybe to put him in the game in that moment?
Well, first off, there's a lot that goes on here more than game day, as you guys know, as athletes. Guy is a really good hitter. We brought him here because he's a really good hitter. Just kind of, how our team is shaken out this year. We have a few guys that probably should have more at-bats than they do, and Dalton would be one of those guys. But I would kind of liken it to Hayden Travinski a couple years ago. He only had 3 at-bats through 26 or 27 games. But we saw what was going on and plugged him in there. And then, last Saturday, I put him in against, Osmer, the closer from Alabama, and he struck him out, and he struck everybody out. He's had a good year this year out of the pen, but I still liked what I saw and the at-bat, and it was a better matchup than, a right-handed hitter that we had coming up at that time. And then I saw him walk up to the plate, and he was just completely under control. I was like, this got a chance to be pretty good. And he took a borderline pitch, took a strike, got the count to 2-1, and then, man, somebody would have got killed if he got hit by that ball. It was smoked, and it was awesome. And better than that, you're talking about a guy that hit 18 homers last year and had all the personal accolades you could have. And he's been an awesome teammate and, really good hitter. He got a hit the other night on Tuesday too. So I'm excited to get him going a little bit also.
We'll start to look forward in a second, Coach. But again, just a massive series win last weekend. But I want to talk about Cade Anderson, because whether it's Tyson Witherspoon, Liam Doyle, whatever the case may be, he seems to have the ability. It's almost like a prize fighter when he knows that one of the top contenders is coming in. He almost raises his level of play. Is that a trait that in your career you have seen kind of your best aces have, that they do take it a bit like a one-on-one matchup when they got another big name across from him?
No doubt about it. And, it's a really good point and a really good something to hang our hat on for our team is the whether it's Pico Khan, Witherspoon, Liam Doyle, obviously, Riley Quick. We've won all the games against the guys on the mound. And a big reason is that is because of Cade, not just matching, but being a little bit better. And, he's made a big jump, and I'm not surprised when you know the person and the work that he puts in and the character and the athlete. But he's been a huge, huge part of this thing. I think we only have one loss on Fridays the entire season, and you can immediately point to Cade for that.
Now, Coach, a couple of weeks ago, you joined us, and we were talking about some of the options out of the bullpen because you had two guys that just kind of, when they come in, the game's kind of over. Well, one of those guys started on Sunday in Kason Evans, and I kind of attribute that to you saying, again, a couple of weeks ago, that we got to do whatever we got to do to win that game that day, and that's what we look at, not maybe down the road, but just that game. Was that what that was on Sunday? Because he was still available. You had to go win the series, win that game, and that's not really a plan necessarily moving forward. But in that day, in that situation, that was the best option for the Tigers?
Yeah, no doubt. And, he's going to be a starter, whether that's the rest of the season and definitely the next 2 years. Like, he's one of the best freshman pitchers in the country, and along with William Schmidt. So how lucky are we to have those two guys for 3 years? So, yeah, that's where he's headed. I just believe in your best guys. Some of your best guys have to be at the end of the game. And, one of this team's really good traits so far and why we're in a good position today as we sit is we've won a lot of close games, and Kason and Zach are a big reason for that. And, last year you look at it and, we rallied and ended up having a good season, but with some really tough, close losses last year. And part of it was we just couldn't match up with who the other team was throwing out of the bullpen in those close games. And, somebody would pop a homer on us or get a big hit where, maybe their guy was shutting us down. Well, we have two guys that when we come in or when they come in, our team feels pretty good. Like they're going to put up zeros and give the offense a chance to relax, play the game, and score.
We're talking to LSU head baseball coach Jay Johnson here. I'm going to frame this next question very poorly. Because I don't know how else to ask it, but what else can you say about Derek Curiel that hasn't already been said, right? I mean, freshman, top of the order. He seems to continue to ascend. It's clutch hitting. It's consistent hitting. I mean, it's a weekend where he has the big Friday night hit, and then he comes back on Sunday in the rubber match and goes 4-4, 5 ribbies from the leadoff spot. I don't get it. Or do you have any compliments left that you could say that you haven't already said?
Yeah, he's a great player. And for me, the separator in these truly elite players is their mind, and the same thing we'd always talk about with Dylan. And he's got such good feel for baseball. And I mean, he texts me just about every night at some point. Wow. And this was really cool. So Thursday night, he was still thinking about, he didn't do a couple double plays against Alabama. And he texted me, he's like, no more double plays. I get one, up at my thigh. He goes, I'm going to rip it right through the right side between the first baseman and second baseman. And lo and behold, that was it to tie the game with 2 strikes. And pretty crazy. But he just got great feel for baseball. He's a great competitor. And really, Sunday's game, that's one of the best games I've ever had a player play when you think about not just the hits, but the situations he got the hits in. Was awesome. And, he's respected by his teammates because of how he goes about his business. Yeah. And we're lucky to have him here at LSU.
Coach, I want to highlight another player here. And look, one of the things that I try to live by is too gritty to be pretty. I say it all the time. And you've got a player that I think fits that motto perfectly, and that's Daniel Dickinson. He doesn't get as much praise maybe as others from the outside. I know he certainly does from the inside. But he just finds a way, scraps and claws, and is such an important piece of what y'all are trying to get done. He just feels like the grittiest baseball player, and I just want you to brag on him for a little bit because I feel like he deserves it.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought him up. He's, in my opinion, the best defensive second baseman in college baseball. I think he only has 1 error on the entire season, and that sometimes goes overlooked. And, again, I always look for things that are common threads and good teams, and we've turned some really big double plays at times this year, and he's done that offensively. Really good player. I don't know what his average is, but he's on base all the time. He was going through a tough stretch for a couple games and hitting the ball hard, and it's just like, dude, just keep going, and this is gonna go. And in Sunday's game, he walked 3 times, and then had an infield single. It's like, there you go. I mean, the guy's on base 4 times, big game on Tuesday, and sort of back on track. He's a great competitor. He's tough-minded. He cares about winning. And he's going to play baseball for a long time. Like, that's a very valuable player in somebody's organization that's, gonna outperform his talent, and I think he is very talented, and he's just gonna be more consistent, than other guys because of that tough mindset that you mentioned. And again, we're really lucky to have him here. I wish I could have him for more than 1 year. That's not going to happen, unfortunately, because he positively affects everybody around him.
Coach, so looking forward to the A&M series this weekend. There's kind of a fascinating inversion from what it was last year, where, last year y'all were the highly heralded team, kind of stumbled out the gate, had to find yourself back against the wall. Big series win with A&M last year. This season, complete opposite, right? A&M, that highly heralded team, stumbling out the gate. They seem to be playing much, much better as of late. What are you telling your teams in terms of kind of being ready to battle that wounded animal?
Yeah, I think it has their attention. Like, they have so many returning. Like, we're a completely different team. Like,
Yeah,
the body for body, it's not even the same team. They are very much the same team in terms of personnel. Like, the Friday and Saturday starters, Ryan Prager and Justin Lampkin. Like, at some point, these guys got to move on from college baseball because it seems like they've been there forever. And then, Lavalette, really good. Caden Sorrell, to me, is one of the best hitters in the country. It's just guy after guy after guy that has a ton of college at-bats under their belt. And let's look at their last few weeks. Like, they lost 3 one-run games at Texas.
Yeah.
Well, Texas is the number 1 team in the country. The week before that, they won 2 out of 3 at Arkansas, probably, the most consistent winning SEC program for the last 10 years, and then Tennessee, obviously, we just saw that. They won the series there. They swept South Carolina. So you can't get fooled by the record because for the last 4 weeks, they've been playing as good as anybody, and it's an Omaha caliber team. And so really I think this is the 8th week of league. It's super regional number 8, and so you got to just dive in and go. So.
Coach, you also know this. You've certainly been here long enough. You know that when LSU comes to town, you are going to get the best from the other team and the best from the opposing crowd as well.
No doubt. I think the last one we went to Auburn, they broke all kinds of attendance records, and there's a big vibe in the stadium, and that's awesome to be a part of. And instead of I think we have the type of players that will use that to only help them play better, and focus more. And at the end of the day, like, whether you got a billion people around you or backyard, sandlot, whatever, it's how to play is how to play. And so you just got to stay focused on that. And I think it's a cool environment. I think it's one of the better ones in the league, to be honest with you, and we're excited to play in it.
All right, last one here, Coach, and it's probably going to be your least favorite one. But I've been directed to ask you about Devin Sheeran, who, of course, transferring in, getting hurt in the fall, but as some have noticed, not on the injury report. Are there any updates on Devin Sheeran?
Yeah, he's throwing live, simulated games, and he's obviously got a great arm. It's just a matter of, there's a lot more to it to be able to put him in a game, specifically an SEC game, in terms of readiness. But we're excited about his health progress. Now, I think, a word I used the other day is just, the sharpness. We need to get it to a level where we feel good about putting him in a game. I think that day will come. I'm just not quite sure yet when.
Coach Jay Johnson, we've kept you long. Thank you so much, Coach. You're the absolute best. Best of luck this weekend in College Station, and we will talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
There he is.
Coach.
Man, how great is that Curiel story? So he literally texted him the exact thing that would go on to happen Friday night at 1 a.m. Yeah. Next time I get it, what is it, inside, hot thigh, I'm just going to rip it through the right side.
And did exactly that.
That's crazy.
And is a 18-year-old.
What a great story. What a great story.
Like, you could tell, even his approach, in the box, when he steps into the box, that he's not a normal freshman. Just mannerisms and the way he carries himself and the confidence he has against these guys that, look, when in Friday night in the SEC, the guy that you're facing 8 times out of 10 is going to be a top 90 draft choice in the MLB draft. And you're basically a couple months from being at high school prom and you're handling it.
It's crazy. It's really crazy to think. And very insightful by Coach Jay talking about how it's the mind more than anything that gets him there, that allows him to do that.
He's hitting 380. On base percentage
505.
over 500.
Yeah.
All right, close on hour 2 of OTB next. Keep it locked.
Off the bench.
Hey, guys, go to coolprohvac.com, coolprohvac.com. So yesterday, I had kind of a funny moment where the AC was off in my house. I'm like, oh, God. Turns out I just needed to put new AAA batteries in the little, the box. But I knew who I was getting in touch with immediately, and it's the local guys at Cool Pro HVAC. Why? Because there's no dispatch fee. So if what's holding you up is like, well, I don't want to pay someone, just come out here and tell me there's no problem. Well, that's not going to happen. So have them come out to your home, check on your system, make sure that you're not having anything catastrophic looming, right? And then once you get to know them, you see the process, maybe you want to become a Cool Pro member. $99 for a full calendar year. You get 24/7 monitoring, priority scheduling, 1-hour service windows. Cool Pro HVAC.
Yeah, serving the greater Baton Rouge area. I mean, they are truly the best. You're going to see exactly where your technician is, when he's going to be at your home. 1-hour windows, no dispatch fee, just things that you're not going to get elsewhere. CoolProHVAC.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yahoo! And Tay-Tay. Guzzle the guzzler, that is Tay-Tay. Alondra.
Wait.
What?
We're like definitely on right now.
Yeah, we're on air. What are you talking about? Girl, get up out of here.
What? That was a lot.
I'm going to allow a woman to speak on
Oh.
air. Okay, so this is a big moment for you.
I don't have any Blake Lively updates.
That's funny. No, I was gonna, because I know that you've been talking about him a lot. Chat wants you to sing the praises of Brazzy.
Oh yeah, shout out Michael Braswell. I
dude,
mean,
who
we
is
all
coming
knew,
on right
yeah,
now.
2 home runs, his first 2 home runs of the season over the weekend over Tennessee. Obviously, one of them was on the loss, but that's okay. Like, you get it out the way, and hopefully that makes his bat get hot, which we all know Michael Braswell, when he gets hot, he gets hot. So I've been a huge Braswell fan since he got here on campus last year. I love it. I hope that, we see more of him. Tanner Reeves is doing great too.
Yeah.
But
it's a good problem to have. I mean, you have a lot, but certainly, I mean, you look at your most consistent SEC hitter last year.
Yeah.
And him coming on is nothing but a good thing.
yeah.
And I'm trying to remember in Saturday's game.
It's so sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
it's so important because his glove is so good. Like, he is your best option for defense at third base. Like, Michael Braswell has a great glove. So I feel like if he can hit how he's hitting now, it's probably going to be him there most of the time, if not the entire time.
Well, and I don't have the timing wrong on this, do I? But when he hit the home run Saturday, it's when the game was still very close.
Yeah,
like,
so
it was a massive situation to hit the home run.
I think he got us up 3-2, or not up. He got us
down 3-2 or
Yeah.
down 2-1.
Yeah, because it was
maybe?
2 solo shots, him and Milo,
Yes.
and that made it
Yeah.
3-2. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the game was right there.
It was a clutch hit at the
Yes,
time.
yes.
We didn't end up closing, but I mean, it was a great at bat from him, and he always has pretty good at bats, whether it's walking or like making the pitcher throw a bunch of pitches. Like, it's not even if he's batting below 300, there's still good at bats that he's going up there and taking.
So shout out to
Shout out Michael Braswell.
Shout out Michael Braswell, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out Michael Braswell.
I went back to look at Daniel Dickinson. He's his fielding percentage is .985, and he only has 2 errors on the season. He was the one that I was most excited coming into the season to watch.
I mean, it does feel like he's not undervalued, but just on a team full of stars, a guy coming in maybe with only 1 year, maybe doesn't get talked about enough.
He really doesn't.
He is he's one of those guys that kind of makes everything work.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have one of those guys to go with the Bear and the Milam and Curiel, like, to make it all work.
Gulf says, as T-Bob, I'm going to allow women to speak, try to talk over her multiple times. Change. See, okay, relax. It was one time.
He does it to everybody,
He does it
too.
to everybody. Don't
Yeah,
feel
he does it to everybody, and I
Yeah.
didn't really
It's not
notice
a
him
female
talking
thing.
over me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With Alondra,
Yeah.
I just am incredibly narcissistic and love the sound of my own voice. It's the
think it's
perfect
that.
job. I got a really good joke, too, that I wrote down because it's not for on air, but I'm going to tell y'all. Here in like
Is this another vampire one?
No.
Okay.
No. This is not. All right, hour 3. Rivers going to join the show. Coming up next, Hebert.
Off the bench.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
/license numbers.
It's Clean Car Month. Right now, get the Pro X1 Car Care Collection Wash Kit for just $19.99, exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Do you plan to travel, work part-time, or move somewhere warmer when you retire? At Edward Jones, we understand that no two retirement paths are the same. Contact your local financial advisor today.
In Baton Rouge, call Brandon Becknell. In Denham Springs, call Scott Landry. And in Plaquemine, call Kyle Robichaux.
Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Thursday, May 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 83. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll have a Thursday edition of Champagne Shenanigans as River Shough stops by the studio. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Hour number 3 of OTB. And we got River Shough here in studio. Of course, River's a key part of LouisianaSports.net, your premier source for all things Louisiana sports. The team doing a great job over there. It's become a part of my morning routine when prepping for the show. And so, yeah, if you ever don't want to listen to us just talk forever and you just want to get the news quickly, you can always head over to Louisiana Sports.
Although reading Ross's writing's kind of like listening to someone talk.
That's true.
In a good way. Like in a good way. Yeah. He's very
in-depth Saints writing. Again, Ross nailing Kelvin Banks.
I was so proud of him. It was such a mom moment.
Yeah.
When immediately when they called that name, all I could think was, "Oh, Ross got it right."
I'm eating a wintergreen mint
from
right
my
now.
office.
Yep. God, these are good, aren't they?
So the listeners know, I have an office up here that I work in a couple days a week, and I have learned how to lure everyone into my office to hang out by just putting a bowl of wintergreen mints out.
They're so good. They really are.
Everyone comes in at least once a day just to grab one.
Favorite mint. I think it's my favorite mint.
It's a good one.
Then again, I guess I don't.
I was like, what are your
engage in
give
mini
me-
mint?
Icebreakers. Name your three favorite mints.
Icebreakers is a mint.
Winter
that
mint, spearmint.
There you go.
Peppermint.
Yep.
I can't believe pepper was not first.
A good old peppermint's good. You know what I'm saying?
I like wintergreen better than peppermint.
If somebody's got a peppermint like up front, like at a dental office, restaurant, whatever it might be, I'm grabbing a peppermint.
Before the meal or after the meal?
After.
Okay.
I love the smell of peppermint.
Yeah. I think specifically if I'm going to get the peppermints, you know, the red and white peppermints, like the hard candy, that I'm going to pick that over the Lifesaver, like mint flavor.
Oh, I don't like the, over this thing?
No, that's wintergreen.
Yeah.
You're talking about the blue bag.
Yeah.
I know
So
what
just
you're
the
talking
mint
about.
flavor of those. I would prefer.
The wintergreen are way better.
Yeah. The green bag.
I don't like mint chocolate chip though.
Okay.
I don't like mint flavor too much.
Oh, I don't like it with chocolate. You know.
We have spent a lot of time talking about mint for someone who doesn't like mint.
Anyway.
The York peppermint patties.
Those are good.
I don't think they are very good.
Okay.
Not really. Fan.
Junior mints?
No. I don't like mints, told you.
I like mints.
Yeah, just
I don't
like these wintergreen
chocolate
mints.
in
Oh,
That's
I love
pretty
it.
much it.
I love junior mints.
Cool.
We just spent an entire segment
We
of
just
T-Bob
spent
bringing
so
up his
three
love for
solid
mint
minutes.
that he doesn't like.
What about Chris Lamontis?
That's worse than what did
when life
Chris Marlar
gives you
Lemonade?
Yeah, you make
trying to do a
lemonade.
lemonade thing.
It wasn't great.
So of course Rivers, our resident Mississippi State beat reporter, and Chris Lamonis finally out. And it's a bit bittersweet. I mean, look,
it is.
Burst onto the scene, 56 wins, I think it was in year one, goes to the College World Series, loses the eventual national champ. 2 years later, gets that national championship, but for whatever reason, the wheels have just come off since.
Yeah, I have quite a few things to say about it. I'm going to try to keep them pretty succinct. As far as Chris Lamonis goes, like, I do not want to take away from what he did by giving all the credit to Andy Cannizaro, but a lot of those players were recruited by Andy. Andy was a very good recruiter. Lamonis inherited a lot of that. So some people's argument is that, did he really win a national championship? Now, I don't think that you do that. I don't think you win a national championship with someone else's players and not be a good coach.
Wasn't it his third year when he won the Natty, or was it his second year?
I think second.
Okay, second year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever. Like, I don't want to take away from him because I don't think that you make it there and you win just because some other guy recruited good players. Like, you have to be a good coach. So I'm not trying to take away from Lamonis. And I also think it's really bittersweet for fans because he is such a great guy. He really implemented himself into our community in Starkville. Like, he would talk to anyone. He's great. He's just like that guy you want to be around. He's so kind. He's so charismatic when you're with him. Like, I like Chris Lamonis. So I was very sad in that way whenever I saw that they fired him. Now, as just a fan of a school who wants to win baseball games, I certainly understand it. I am a little confused about the timing of it, but, you know, someone who gets paid a whole lot more money than me made that decision, and I'm sure that they had their reasons, and they thought it through. They fire him. They bring in Justin Parker as the interim, who is our pitching coach. Another thing I was a little confused about, I don't have anything against Justin Parker. I just assumed that if they did this midseason, Jake Gautreaux would be our interim coach.
Yeah. Who's that? Hitting coach?
No.
Jake Gautreaux is a stud at Tulane.
Yes,
he's an All-American.
He's like the infield coach. He's like top recruiting coach. He's got a lot of titles. We all love him as Mississippi State fans. Like, he's great. We love him. Everyone loves him. Players love him, which you need. So I assumed they would bring Jake Gautreaux in. They did not. I heard Kendall Rogers talking a little bit about this, and he was saying that he thinks ultimately they did not do that because they didn't want to bring him in as interim, everyone to love it, him to do great for the rest of the season, win a bunch of games, and then feel forced to keep him on as head coach. Because he would have so much momentum behind him. Like, that's Kendall Rogers' take on it. I don't know if that is the reason or not.
It's an interesting thing, though, because a piece of that is him winning a ton of games.
Yes, for sure.
Which is like, I mean, is that
well? But that could be for a lot of reasons too. A lot of times you see a coaching change mid-season, and there's like this momentum created. Yes, for sure.
Well, and I guess
so then, how do you judge that? Like, so then you hire him, and then what? You know, like maybe that interim bump goes away. and he doesn't do as well. I don't know. I can't explain why Zach Selman, Mississippi State's AD, made this decision, but
if I'm remembering correctly, when Canizero got fired,
it was
there was an interim bump.
Brian Henderson.
But he did not get the job.
No, he did
They
not.
went
But
and
he
did the
wasn't
coaching
as
search.
he was not as beloved as Jake Gautreaux.
But they
Like
went
I
and did
think
the
if Jake
coaching search.
Gautreaux gets in there, he wins a bunch of games, he would have a ton of momentum behind him from the fans. So maybe Zach Selman is trying to avoid that because he wants to be the one to pick the next coach. Like, I don't know.
So what do we, because, and again, look, I think Mississippi State did a good job of kind of staying patient, and not being too reactive with Lemonis. They gave him enough.
Yeah.
They gave him enough runway.
And you fire him here so he doesn't go win a bunch of games
Yeah.
somehow, some way, and then, kind of create, oh, man, maybe we shouldn't fire him because he got hot again, and they're one player away or whatever. Like, you do it now so that doesn't happen.
I mean, 17 SEC wins last year, so I mean, it was, but.
Well, so then I think coaching searches are so great. Jake and I were talking about this yesterday. Like, I love coaching searches. I mean, especially when they appeal to me as a fan. Like, it's my, when I remember the moment I got the text message that we had hired Mike Leach. Like, coaching searches are incredible. I think they're funny because I think that everyone in America is shouting some name out into the ether. Like, like
Tony V.
It doesn't even matter who it is because it's like no one knows. Anything could happen, right? So you're allowed to just shout out any option. I think Tony V is a little crazy, but hey, crazier things probably have happened.
Make Tennessee pay him if nothing else.
So like
make Tennessee give him a raise.
I love coaching searches. So I put together my top 5 picks, which of course I post them and people are like, no, I'm getting all these, angry DMs like, no, there's no way. No,
Wait, people are divided on coaching searches?
I'm not saying I'm not saying these are the 5 people who are going, like, most likely to get hired. I'm saying these are my 5 people I would like to see hired.
Yeah.
Right? So
yes.
To be clear, before people are sliding up in my DMs, this is just who I want to see for my own reasons.
So who are the top 5?
Okay, so my top person is Josh Elander. Am I saying his last name right?
I have no idea who that is. I don't know.
Ellender?
Yeah, it's the
Ooh,
wrong
it could
person.
be either. It could be either.
You talking about from
he is an assistant
from Tennessee?
Tennessee. He's the Ellender or Elander?
It's Ellender.
I thought it was Ellender. but
Okay, I'm just checking.
I'm bad
I
with
say I read
pronunciations.
things wrong all the time. So he's my top candidate. He's 31 years old. He's in his 8th season at Tennessee.
Oh, young boy.
Yes, he's young. So that is something I know people are going to look at. He played at TCU. He was a volunteer assistant at Arkansas for a while. But he's been at Tennessee, and he's done a really good job at Tennessee.
He still is a volunteer.
Huh?
Very good call.
Okay, that is actually a very good joke. I wish I had thought of that. But so during the South Carolina coaching search, he was one of the top candidates. And they ended up obviously going Paul Maneri, which maybe at this point they're regretting.
They went
Too
old.
late, no takesy backsies.
They went old,
He's yours now.
4 wins.
So he is my top candidate. I think too, he's young. He understands recruiting. He's not so removed from these people that he's going to understand
you want
it.
somebody, I've talked about that before, you want somebody coming up in the NIL age.
And it's not just because he's young. He's obviously well accomplished. Like, South Carolina was considering hiring him for their head coach role. It wasn't like we pulled him out as an assistant. He's not some random assistant. I think he's my top pick.
Okay. Who's number 2?
Then we got Wes Johnson, Georgia.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
but he was
proven.
also a former Mississippi State assistant. He's worked for Arkansas, LSU. He was the pitching coach for the Twins. Like, this guy's done a lot of things.
he was great with the Twins, too. He turned that staff to the best in their
100%. So he just signed a long-term contract through 2030. I don't know what his buyout is, but I feel like that could be a problem. Like, I don't know. I don't think they released that number, so I don't know what it is. But he would be an option. If we could take him from Georgia, like, I'd be happy with that. Next, Chris Pollard. He is at Duke, one of the top programs in the ACC. So he has been there for 12 seasons. He led the program to 6 NCAA tournament appearances, and they'll probably go back this year. A lot of programs have looked at him. I think TCU was looking to hire him, and then also Miami. Ultimately, they went with other candidates, but he's been looked at by a lot of programs.
Okay.
And then Nolan Cain. We know him. We love him here. I don't know if we still love him here. I love him. I don't know if LSU fans still love him.
Yeah, like him.
Okay,
I
cool.
got his jersey.
I mean,
I think
obviously.
they do.
You said you have his jersey?
Well, that 39, that jersey that I have is a literal, actual Nolan.
Yeah, I went and got jerseys a couple years ago, and we were like, we need a double X. He's like, I got an old Nolan Kane for you.
I got you.
Like,
so he has ties to the SEC, which I think is important. He knows what Mississippi State would need. He was at A&M. Now he's at Texas. Yes, he's an incredible recruiter. So that's another thing. I know he's an assistant, and everyone's like, we can't hire another assistant. Like, we can. Absolutely, we can if he's good at his job. He's great at recruiting. And I think right now Mississippi State needs someone who is going to be good at recruiting. I can't remember where we ranked, like where our next class ranks, but it is not good. It took a huge drop. We need a recruiter.
I saw somebody say that, like, also the state of Mississippi doesn't have enough to be able to spread between Ole Miss and Mississippi State, so you have to have somebody
have someone that can go nationally. Like LSU, y'all's players a lot. I mean, I'm not saying
no,
all
they're
of
from
them.
all over the place right
They're
now.
not. Yes, but typically y'all can bring people in from, within an hour of you. We cannot do that. We have to recruit nationally. So we need someone who's going to understand that world. And I think that Nolan Kane and Josh Ellender would. That's why, like, they're assistants, but they're really great at recruiting.
Yeah.
Nolan Kane, he's making less than $500,000 a year. Like, hey, you want to make some money?
So who's number 5 then?
Nick Mingione.
Okay, Mingione.
Well, I don't think you say the last part.
Luigi. Any relation?
Do you? Yes.
No, I have no idea.
He's at Kentucky, which is funny because
Mingione.
we're playing them this
it's
weekend.
Just Mingione.
I think it's Mingione. Yeah.
But why Luigi?
Well, the
guy,
CEO
the
killer.
CEO.
Nick kind of had his last name cucked a little bit.
We are playing them this weekend, Mississippi State. So that's a funny thing because we're obviously actively recruiting him. Like, he's not only on my list of wants, he's on everyone's list of wants.
And he would leave.
He is probably the
For
top
more
candidate.
buy-in to baseball, yeah.
No, but see, here's the problem. I don't know that he will. I don't know that we will do it because his buyout. So he just signed an extension in 2023, and the buyout details estimated $6 million if he leaves for another job. The buyout is cut in half if the athletic director leaves, which he's not. So
No, Mitch Barnhart's been there since forever.
That's a cool thing to add into the
I don't think.
It's crazy because
I don't think I would pay
in
$6 million for Mangione.
That's what I'm
$6 million in football buyout is like, here, take it.
Yes, but
Baseball's
I don't think,
different.
like, he is a top candidate. If we could get him over to Mississippi State, certainly we want him, but I don't think that we're going to pay that buyout. So I don't know, but I think I've gotten the other two. We talked about one of these names before we came on air, but Brian O'Connor at Virginia, he's not necessarily on my list, but he is on everyone's top list. Like, he's who all the people who do know what they're talking about are putting on their list.
Okay.
And then Skip Johnson from Oklahoma. Everyone's talking about him too. And again, for whatever reason, I know they're good coaches. I know they would come to Mississippi State and do fine. They're just not exciting to
You're
me.
in a little bit of youth.
I want to, and I had somebody send me a message and they were like, no, you don't want an assistant. Well, first of all, I know what I want. Like, don't tell me what I want. But also, Andy was an assistant. He was like, well, roster management. And I said, I think he would have been great at roster management. Like, aside from whatever else Andy had going on, he was an incredible coach. And he was an assistant.
It's a weird thing because you're right. There is something more exciting about catching maybe the next big guy like a Tony Vitello. But it is a program in state that is one of the premier programs of the country, and generally those guys aren't where you get that first
But my
opportunity.
My hope is this. Zach Selman, also a very young guy. I'm hoping, and he has changed Mississippi State's athletic department in a lot of ways. He's made it a lot more youthful. He understands how to deal with these players now. And not deal with them is probably the wrong word, but he knows how to recruit them. He knows what they need.
Navigate them.
He knows how to navigate this new landscape of college sports. And so I'm hoping that he can see that. I'm hoping that he can, if we end up with someone who's already a head coach, that's fine. But I'm hoping that he doesn't just cut out the option of assistants because they're assistants.
I agree. And, again, the lottery ticket is you end up with the Tony V.
And by the way, Tony V, if you're listening, because I know you're a longtime listener of OTB, I mean, if you want to come, you would have been on my list, just so you know. I just need you to know you would have been on my list. I just know that you're not leaving Texas.
That's the thing.
He's on my list.
I think State.
Mini list.
I think State needs to go.
Although Tony V, 5'11". We looked it up.
Oh, yeah, we did look that up. But we said.
So but how tall is Casey
I
Evans?
thought Tony Vitello was like 5'8".
I
Six
feel like
something.
That's what I'm saying. Casey Evans is just like tall Tony V.
I
So there
feel
you go.
like Tony
6'2".
V's facial hair and
Gives him
head
an
hair
inch.
gives him like an inch
That's
in
true.
my mind. So
Fair.
now we're at 6 foot.
That's fair.
Then
The
he puts
money
spikes
also
on.
gives him
He
a-
puts spikes on. We're like
Championships.
6'1", 6'2".
The rings adds a little bit.
The money does too, yeah.
Nah.
So
Tony
that's kinda my-
paid somebody to put that on his bio. Tony Vitello's like 5'8".
I think,
and he gives off 5'8" vibes.
I
So it
think
makes
State
sense.
needs
Like,
to
that's-
go.
So those are my thoughts. I just think coaching searches are funny. We're all going to be just yelling at the internet until they hire someone boring like they always do.
I think they need to
until
take,
they do, we can shout.
a really big swing like, Tony or maybe Wes Johnson.
I
Like,
think they'll swing.
back the money truck up, see if there's anything there, and then if not, then maybe.
I think they'll swing, but like Jake and I were talking about,
Go with the
it's
young
not
guy.
a matter of yes, Mississippi State is a big baseball program. We will throw money at it. Absolutely. But just because we're offering this job to someone does not mean they're going to come.
Yeah,
So
no.
we can swing all we want. And I hope that we do. But like people, I mean, I'm not talking about y'all, but you see people on the internet and they're like, just offer this person the job. Like Mississippi State, anyone's going to come to Mississippi State. And look, I love Mississippi State, but I don't think that's true. And I think one other point I'd like to make, and again, this is kind of a Kendall Rogers thing. He was talking about how it has to be more than coaching. Like, we've been through a lot of head coaches in the last decade.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of really low moments. So he was talking about LSU, for example. Even when you're not great, even when you're not the best team, you're not bottoming out.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen a lot of that from Mississippi State. And we are really good at baseball. We have been really good at baseball. But we've also bottomed out. And it's like, his point is, yes, get rid of Lamonis, hire a new coach. But you also have to figure out what else is going on in that building. And I think, again, not an expert, I'm not in the building, but I think it's recruiting. I really do think that is a
100%.
huge part of the problem. And that is why those Nolan and Josh are so high on my list, because they are so good at recruiting.
That makes sense.
If you really want to shoot your shot and get some life into the program, I don't know if you've seen Will Clark's Instagram videos about hitting.
Stop it.
But
He's
if
in
you
his
really,
garage.
if you really want to put some juice back into the
What
program,
kind of car does he have? It's like
I don't know,
it's
but
it's like an old Taurus or something. He's like in his garage. He's teaching you how to hit.
T, I got to send you this one. I mean, there's a lot of words, and 96% of them are cuss words, but it makes a lot of sense.
Talk about someone who would probably not love the modern day recruit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
my
He would
God.
not do
No,
well.
he would
Oh,
not.
my
He's
God.
electric, though.
God, I love that guy.
Jolt
He
of
came
energy.
into Guarantee one time, and I was like, oh, my God.
I have
Will
some
the
funny
thrill.
stories that I won't tell on air, but of him being not very nice to little kids.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, no.
he's just not a.
No, what you
He's
see.
good at what he does.
Yeah, what you see
Be
on
who you
Instagram
are.
is
Be who
him.
you are.
Yeah.
Be who you are.
All right. When we get back, let's do a little munchies. Seth Michael Johnson, keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Hey guys, if you're in the market for a Generac home generator, why don't you go with Louisiana's premier Generac home generator dealer? And you hear me talk about them every day. That is Boudreaux's Electrical. Boudreaux's! Go Shough. Been family owned and operated since 1982.
Oh, he's coming across the table.
Okay. And everybody's treated like a VIP. And the bottom line is, when you're talking about a home generator, you have to make sure that it's ready to go when you need it. That's what Boudreaux's does. They stay on top of your system 24/7 to make sure that is the case. And if it's ever not the case, they have even cut down trees in the eye of hurricanes to get to a system to get it back online. So, you got great financing options. You want to protect you and your family, go to BoudreauxElectrical.com.
Give them a call on the North Shore, 985-397-1562. In the greater Baton Rouge area, that is 225-300-9389. You can find all that information. You can get that quote online at BoudreauxElectrical.com.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wildin'.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Now, usually I don't do this, but go ahead on, break them off with a little previews of the remix. Now, I'm not trying to be rude, but hey, pretty girl, I'm feeling you. The way you do the things you do reminds me of my Lexus cool. That's why I'm all up in your grill.
Back from the break, where the sports talk gets real. Kinda. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Let me give it that beep, beep. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. River's sitting in for this final hour. No champagne shenanigans tomorrow, so we're doing it today.
I guess we're minus champagne.
Yeah, without champagne as
Thursday.
well. Probably for the best.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go to an event tonight, and I got that most wondrous of texts this morning, which is my wife saying, I don't want to go. I was like, okay, hell yeah, I don't either. Chef Michael Johnson, it's time for some munchies. Chef, what's up, brother? How we doing today?
I'm good.
Wow, you are chipper today. Alondra said everybody's been in such a great mood. A little springtime in the air.
Yeah.
It's going to be May. How we feeling here, Chef?
Man, we're getting some, year to year, it depends when we shift from spring classes to summer classes, depending on the calendar. Sometimes we get like 3 or 4 days down. Sometimes we get like 10 days down. This year we have quite a few days down in between those classes. So I've got some fishing in my future.
Oh, it sounds like a man who's fired up to hit the water.
Yeah.
Rivs, and by the way, guys, it's me that doesn't want to go tonight.
Man, you really got to.
No, relax. It's me. That was my idea. Rivs, is it your first munchies?
It's not my first munchies. What are you talking about?
I thought it was your first munchies segment.
No. Chef, tell.
What? I mean, I don't know.
go
You're
way
not
back.
here on Thursdays normally.
I've
Way
been with
back.
Chef.
We go way
Yes,
back.
we go way
I
back.
didn't say y'all don't know each other. You've never interacted. Okay, you know what? Whatever. Hashtag
I have
munchies.
one. I have one. I'm just saying, Chef and I, we know each other. I've been.
I know y'all
you
know
I
each
used to
other.
work on this show.
Just ask a freaking question.
Hashtag munchies. Is there more than one way to macerate fruit?
I suppose in different liquids, right?
What is macerate?
I mean, maybe.
I know about mastication. I know about I don't know about maceration.
Yeah, maceration is like soaking fruit so that it absorbs flavorful liquids, basically.
It's like pickling,
and
kind of.
Well, and it's kind of like if you take dehydrated dehydrated. It kind of is. I mean, if you consider that you and I, a lot of people use alcohol. So,
Yeah.
I mean, when I drink alcohol, I get pickled. So I suppose that you could, call it pickling. Yeah. But basic, you don't want to heat it, right? Like some people, when you reconstitute like dried tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, in some sense you are macerating that, because like if you put it into like a balsamic vinegar, you're wanting that balsamic vinegar to impart its flavor into the tomatoes as well.
Got it.
So there is some type of maceration there, but maceration is really just soaking them in an alcohol. And like I'm prone to brandy or cognac myself because I like the flavor that it provides when you. I like to use macerated fruit in like flambés for desserts and stuff. And you don't have to just use fruits. You can use other things, like you could macerate tomatoes. I think if you wanted to, if you want to put them into a vodka sauce or something like that. Typically, you're macerating fruit though, and like macerated cherries go into old fashioned. I think is what it is, and they're a particular type of cherry. Like it's a tart cherry that's macerated in a cognac or brandy. And so I think as far as the process is concerned, it's the same, but you can macerate with different type of alcohols, if you will.
A lot of maceration going down at BYU. Hashtag Munchies doing some toasted coconut Hawaiian fried rice for dinner. Toasted coconut Hawaiian fried rice. What protein should I cook?
Chicken comes to mind, like chicken or shrimp. Like you threw me off at coconut, so I'm already lost. You guys.
Sorry, I forgot. You were an uneducated cretin.
No, look, I'm with you, Chef.
You put in that dish, I'm not eating it.
I'm with you, Chef.
I think everybody's kind of anti-coconut in this room, actually.
Yeah.
Alondra, yes or no? Where do you weigh in? Jake's not
I like
on board.
coconut.
Okay, cool. Me and you are cool, dude.
I'm a coconut.
Taylor, I don't care
like
about your
coconut
opinion.
water.
Don't talk.
I love coconut water.
Love coconut water.
Yeah.
Okay, hashtag Munchies. Chef, do you ever get decision fatigue when deciding what to prepare for yourself or LSU?
It typically comes in the loss of my personal life versus the professional life, right? And there is such a thing. Like people won't understand, like CEOs of companies go home and get run by their spouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to some degree, like I go home and I live in a little bit of chaos because, I mean, your mind and your body, have a finite amount of decisions that they're prepared to make in a day, and you have to kind of you have to preserve them for the ones that matter, right? And so I don't know if you know this or not, but Barack Obama and Albert Einstein were both aware of this, and both of them wore the same uniform every day. That's why Albert Einstein wore the same clothes every day, and that's why Barack Obama always wore like black and dark blue suits, so that he didn't really have to make it's one less decision.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And it's and I guess to some degree, like I put on my chef pants and my chef jacket and I go to work every day. Like the people don't recognize me outside of my clothes, and so yes, it absolutely is a real thing. And I mean, there's times I worked a 12 or 14-hour day yesterday, and I went home and stared at the wall, no TV, like just like unwinding, no bourbon, no anything, just letting the day go. And
yeah, man,
it absolutely is. Like when you have dishes in the sink, and that's a decision to be made, and you're looking at it, you're like, I think
laundry to be folded.
Yeah, right.
Edge of the bed.
Folding laundry is for maniacs, man. I just wash. I need a machine to do that.
Hashtag Munchies. How do you make a hot honey glaze?
So you got to kind of you probably need to add some liquid to it, right? Because honey's thick already, and if you put honey into a hot pan, it's going to be reducing the amount of liquid that's in it already. So my suggestion is putting like even some wine or some alcohol or something that probably not hard alcohol so that it's burning, because that will caramelize. But even a little water to kind of thin it out so that it thins, or a vinegar. If you have like white balsamic vinegar with honey, goes really well. And it kind of forms what you might call a gastrique. It's kind of sweet and tart at the same time. It's contrasting flavors. That's how I like to do it. But you can just use water, reduce it. Some people will just glaze it on straight, but it's prone to burning. It depends on what you're putting it on too, because if, say, a turkey, for instance, if you're putting honey onto a turkey, when it heats up, it's going to run off. So it matters when you put it on. It also matters how many times you put it on. Like, I continue to glaze. Also, if you're really wanting to get honey flavor as a glaze on something, you can actually buy honey powder instead of the liquid, and it sticks really well. Yeah, it looks akin to almost pollen. You know, like it's a dried granular honey is what it is. It's been dehydrated to the point that you can sprinkle it. And if I'm wanting, like my Thanksgiving turkey last year, I sprinkled some honey, dehydrated honey and dehydrated maple on my turkey, and it formed this just perfect brown. You know, like.
Can you just get that at like a regular store, like a grocery store?
Well, I mean, if your regular store is Amazon, yes.
Oh, okay.
You gotta know a guy.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, that's just. I thought everybody went there. Yeah.
Literal booger sugar. You know? Hashtag munchies. This is the last one, Jeff, then we'll let you go. What's the weirdest request you've ever gotten to cook for someone?
Whew, it's a good one, man. Nothing's popping to mind right now. You know, like I for me, sometimes it's you know, like adults eating grilled cheese at a restaurant.
Yeah. Like I get ketchup on a steak, something like that.
I will tell you this. So I worked at a steakhouse for a while. I'm not going to say the name of it, but like we grilled 500 steaks a night, and we had this reference. We called them Jim and Jan because that was my best friend's parents in high school. Just for reference purposes, like there was always somebody that walked in at 10:45 and 11 o'clock shut down and wanted a well done steak, right? And so it was always okay. We're going to make this steak great. We're going to make it taste good. And this guy, he ordered a well done steak, but he wanted it coated. And I like went overboard with it, man. I thought I was going to get this guy. He sat back and tipped and said it was the best steak he's ever had. he wanted it coated. He wanted it, a lot of cayenne on it. So I rolled this thing in cayenne, brother. I was hell bent on making my point, and he just wouldn't let me have it, man. He sat back and tipped and was like, "My God, that was the best thing I've ever had."
You had no idea the depths to which Jim could descend.
No, and I was so disappointed in the fact that I got tipped and I didn't get fussed at,
So you're drawing a link between people who order well done steaks and a lack of social awareness.
Oh man. Well, I mean, we should do a study because I think there's a possibility there.
Chef Michael Johnson, Chef, enjoy the downtime, my man. Enjoy the water. We love you, and we'll talk to you next time for Munchies.
Okay, take care. Bye, Rick.
Chef.
You the man. How was it? First time ever talking to Chef. Great, huh?
I literally helped y'all create that segment.
I know. I'm just somebody who weren't on air during the Munchies thing is all I'm saying. I know you know Chef.
No, I mean I helped you create that segment while I was producing the show.
I know. Well, I thought.
No.
Did you start?
Yes.
We started during the pandemic.
I created it because I created the first bed.
Oh, you created the first bed. Hell yeah.
That's cool. Just saying.
But I mean, I created the segment.
Well, me, you, and Jordy created the segment.
Yeah.
We met him at the thing, and then me and you met him at the thing.
Yeah, at the cafeteria. All right, let's go to break. And actually, before we do, I do want to remind you about All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com is the website. Got great deals going down on the website right now. You can actually custom order a vehicle right there on the website with All-Star Toyota Express if you want to do that. You can check out all the great deals we got going on right now. Remember, our buy 3 tires, get the 4th for $1 is going down right now. And so whether you're looking to buy new, Toyota certified used vehicle, maybe you need a body shop or a service center, you get into All-Star. You mentioned OTB, you get $250 for the deductible. But look, you get free fresh estimates, rapid turnaround times. They're just the best. And if you need a rental, Miss Lee's Sessions is right there. Same office, walk one office over, bam, you got it. And it's cheaper per day rental price than your traditional rental company. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com. More to be next.
Off the bench.
And how about our friends over there at Trash Rangers, your local waste removal experts. Local being the key. Okay, these guys are your neighbors. These are not your national trash companies who won't keep the trash here but take the profits out of state. At Trash Rangers, those profits are funneled back into the community through Little League teams, through churches, because again, your neighbors. If you live in Livingston or Ascension, you get to make a choice about who handles your residential trash pickup, you're lucky in that way. And so you go with Trash Ranger, you just get a better level of service, more give a damn, more efficiency. Remember, they text you the night before your day. They text you the night before. It's your day, so you never forget to put out the cans again. They just care. And look, if you need a roll-off dumpster, maybe a little spring clean, maybe your big business, you need for a big project, 10, 15, 30 yard, we got you. It's great prices, rapid drop-off time, rapid pickup time. And if you're a business, you need a front-load dumpster anywhere in the listening area, emptied up to 6 days a week, you already know. TrashRangers.com.
You work hard every day to pursue a life you love. You put in the time, and it shows. You're forging ahead, chasing a dream, creating something better for the ones you love. You're building your own life. So why not build your own tractor? With John Deere tractors and attachments for almost any need, the Sunshine team can help you do just that. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
A scrub is a guy that thinks he's fly and is also known as a buster. Always talking about what he wants and just sits on his broke ass. So no, I don't want you.
Back at it, where sports talk meets pure chaos. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB, hour number 3 here in this Thursday, and it's time for a Tay-Tay NFL story of the Day-Day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL story of the Day-Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
It's because we talked about it during break. New York Jets backup quarterback Jordan Travis retiring from the NFL yesterday after never playing a down. He is medically retired. Obviously, he had that gruesome leg injury in 2023 when Florida State was undefeated. You just mentioned North Alabama is the game that he suffered the injury in. Again, they had to surgically repair that left leg, was never able to fully recover, and decided to walk away yesterday. for what it's worth, tomorrow will be his 25th birthday. So he is hanging it up before he ever got started. It is just an unfortunate situation. If you remember, after he went down, Florida State was not elected to participate in the college football playoff. They get blown out by Georgia in their bowl game, and then just kind of all downhill for him and Florida State from there.
2-10 last year.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a really, really bad situation. He had to medically retire yesterday, but Jordan Travis, excellent college quarterback.
Don't play those stupid-ass cupcake games, but whatever.
But to be fair, like that could have happened in any game.
Yeah, but it didn't.
It could have happened.
Right.
It could have happened in practice, like John
North
Murray last year.
Alabama's catching a straight
But also,
here.
to be fair, as someone who's in charge of a lot of writers, it's impossible to ignore the North Alabama piece of this. I mean, that makes it that much more brutal. It was a game that did not matter.
I feel like they're catching a straight here.
Good. That's fine.
Always
it was a game
kinda-
that did not matter to Florida State's
It's
success.
always something brutal like that, right? Like, okay, remember last year with John Emery? He finally came back. He was your only spark against USC in the run game. Then at practice on Tuesday, he tears his knee after that, like for the third time or whatever it was.
I think they just shouldn't practice.
It's always, just put them in bubble wrap until the day of big games is what it is.
Don't talk to anybody. Don't look at anyone. Sit. Don't move.
So you're going to die in this North Alabama hill?
I'm just saying. I
You
feel
don't wanna
bad
die
for.
in this hill.
I feel
You
bad.
know,
This
you're
could happen
just
anywhere. This
arguing
could
to
happen.
I'm just saying it could happen at any
This could
game.
happen
You're
falling
just
down the stairs in your
arguing-
house.
You're just
Like, this
you're
could-
blaming North Alabama when it could have happened in any game.
I'm acknowledging the fact that the story is made that much more
I
brutal.
get
It is.
By it being
Well, who
North
scheduled
Alabama
that game?
both ruined his life and FSU's.
I guess
Everything fell
I guess
apart.
they scheduled the game.
The turn of an ankle.
I mean, I turn my ankle almost every day.
Have y'all seen this about Mark Zuckerberg?
No,
Yes,
I haven't seen
we
anything
did.
about Mark Zuckerberg.
We did see that about Mark Zuckerberg.
That one
So-
thing, yeah, I saw it.
It's a
We
minute
saw it.
53
Facebook.
long. It's a minute. Yes, it's true. Meta, actually. It's a minute 53 long
It was
clip, so we need to
Facebook.
pay it. But
So he did create Facebook.
play it.
Some other
And Meta.
businessman turned it into Meta.
No, I'm kidding. I refuse. I've never called Facebook Meta once.
It's so
I
stupid.
refuse to call it Meta. Same way I refuse to call Twitter X.
Or what'd he do?
What do you do?
He explained that, quote, because I guess Meta, Facebook, is developing AI friends for people.
Oh God,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
sad.
I think I did see that.
To
That's sad.
supplement their real ones.
That
And
is
his quote is,
dystopian.
That's unfortunate.
the average American has 3 friends, but has demand for 15.
Okay.
Okay.
There's demand for 15
Well,
friends.
yeah, that's what
Where's
I'm
he
saying. Like,
getting these numbers?
Shut up.
That actually sounds like a nightmare.
Shut the hell up.
15
Zuckerberg.
friends?
15
You think I
friends
wanna
is way
keep up
too
with
many
15
friends.
people?
15 friends is way too many
Zuckerberg
friends.
has made a lot of money. There's no question about it. He has way more money than I'll ever have. How the hell does he know we need 15 friends?
That's
That's what I'm saying.
what
Where's
the
he getting
data
these
says.
numbers? What data?
The metadata.
No,
That's
no.
what the
You know what?
metadata
15
says.
is a very
Well, you
precise
know what,
number.
though?
Mark Zuckerberg pulled that out of his ass.
No, demand for 15.
Wait,
No.
hear this out. Follow me down this path if you can. He's getting this data from Meta, right? Who would you say probably is the biggest demographic of people on Meta?
Old people.
Old people. Old people love
They
connecting
love
with their
Facebook.
old friends
Yeah.
from high school. So they're seeing all these old people trying to reconnect with every person they've ever known because it's so new to them and like they didn't have that option when they were our age.
That's true.
Yeah.
So now Mark's like, see, everyone wants friends.
15 friends, guys.
You ask somebody our age, we're like, ugh,
But like,
two max.
regardless, that
15
is
friends.
just sad.
Yeah, and like you're reconnecting with an old friend, or we can give you this new thing
This
that doesn't
fake
even actually
friend.
exist.
friend.
I think they're just.
They know exactly what you want to
That's
hear.
sick.
Yeah,
I know.
that's
sick.
awful.
That is like demented to make these fake AI friends. This is Black Mirror.
Well,
You have an
wanna know
online
what's-
birthday
you know what I
party,
mean?
and that's
That-
you just
that
hang out with your
you're-
AI friends. Like this
Yeah.
is awful.
I think what's sick is, yes, today they are fake. But when are they no longer fake?
They will always.
They're
be
always
fake.
going to be
No
fake.
matter what you do, they will always be.
No,
fake.
not
I'm
actual
saying
people.
not the more
They're-
and more that
so
like
you think
AI
they're
It's literally
consciousness
called
is-
artificial.
You think they're
I
just gonna
know.
be sentient and like?
I think the
What's that one
lines
movie?
between sentience
I,
and
Robot.
consciousness are going to get incredibly blurry. Yes.
What's the
Yes.
movie? What is it?
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina.
Oh,
yeah.
is that the one where the AI
it's
girl?
best movies ever, yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, look, it's Joaquin Phoenix and her,
yeah.
right?
That
I
movie
mean,
cracks me up so much.
Again, we're not that far off from that. Mark Zuckerberg's out here making AI friends.
Okay, and he needs to like stop.
Well,
people are
you
paying
have a
him
demand
money.
for 15
I know.
friends. Okay, you just
I just don't believe that.
Deal with your 15 friends and like it.
I can't name 15 people that would I would consider friends.
Well, it's because you don't have any AI supplemented friends. Well, you just need a couple thrown
That's
in
so
there.
stupid.
So we're thinking too small, right?
We
Not
need,
like Zuckerberg.
we're missing a character archetype in the group text. You go to Facebook, you pick one up.
Do you think
we
that
need a funnier guy in the group text?
I don't know. We're all pretty funny.
Do you think that
Zuck in
people
here.
who have they get their 15 friends, or let's say that you have up to 15, let's say you just have 5 casual friends, AI friends. Do you think that people will start talking about them in casual conversation, like oh, my friend
yeah.
so-and-so said?
Yeah.
Can you
That's
imagine?
so stupid. Yeah, great point by Vaughn in the chat. Friends, the show didn't even have 15 friends on it.
It's true.
Well,
They had 6 core,
again,
6?
Yeah.
They weren't
Yeah.
looking
3 guys,
at the
3 girls.
data.
We're looking at the data.
Go to ktozblinds.com for K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living.
What's the data saying about K to Z?
Forget about your friends. What about your blinds? You know, shutters, drapery, shades, drop down exterior shading. So you can say grilling and say cool while you're grilling and chilling. It's all there at K to Z. Brandon Bard's got his 10,000 hours. He's got multiple years, decades in this business, meaning he's going to walk in your home. Free estimate, complimentary installation once you decide on what you want to do and whether it's a beginner home of your dreams, your forever home. Either way, we're going to take it to the next level. K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. We're wrapping up the show next.
Off the bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. You go to Central Plumbing, and they're going to fix your plumbing. You know? How about that? So, like, something goes wrong with your toilet, shower, sink, whatever the case may be, Central Plumbing's out there. They got you. They've seen it all. They can fix it all over 50 years. They got flat rate pricing, licensed bond insured employees, great warranty once the work is done. But what about, like, a bathroom remodel? You know? You want to, that's a great gift idea for maybe your wife, your husband, who's ever sort of into that sort of thing. Maybe you got a lot of kids. Run out of hot water. You get a tankless water heater. You never run out of hot water again. It's one of many options over there. So look, again, 24/7 emergency service, a massive fleet ready to serve the entire Baton Rouge area, listening area, whenever you call them. Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Back at it, where sports talk meets pure chaos. Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Do y'all remember the "What's My Age Again" video?
Yeah.
No.
Where they were all naked running around.
Oh, yes, I do actually.
Blink-182. So I was talking to, we were doing the Rome show yesterday. I don't know how that came up. Blink-182 came up, but he's in that video.
Who is?
Because Jim Rome. Because apparently, like, back in the day, San Diego radio, they were playing Blink-182 when they were a San Diego young band on the rise, so they got tight or whatever. They're like, hey, you want to come film this video? How about this? You cannot do this nowadays. So you remember, like, that video was famous because they're running around naked the whole time.
Yeah.
But you just assumed they're not actually naked.
Right.
He said they told him, like, look, we're going to come by the studio. We got to film this video. And then out of nowhere, they all just three came traipsing through full dong.
That's crazy.
No,
That is
no
a wild
sock,
move.
no bodysuit.
Nothing.
Hell
Just
yeah.
full dong.
Hell yeah.
In front of a whole studio full of employees.
Perfect.
Could not
You know
do
what?
it nowadays.
I can respect that they didn't give one single F and just did it.
Well, I was going to say,
but-
since they're supposed to be, you know.
Could he get in trouble
punk-
for that?
I mean, now, yes.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
would.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
You
it
get
would be-
what?
That's a sexual assault charge now, for sure.
Oh, no, I just meant, I guess he wasn't on TV. It wasn't like a.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Was
the
it
video
aired,
in
No, it wasn't
so
live.
long,
Oh, okay.
though. Like, I guess, like, not telling them you're going to do that, you do capture the natural reaction, though. So,
Yeah.
like, it is actually is kind of a good move.
Well, it's also, if you're a punk band, you have to. And I know it's pop punk. It's not like Sex Pistols punk, but they were, you know, they were in theory punk. So, yeah. You had to. Hey, guys, reminder about All-Star Toyota. If you need a vehicle, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Does Vitello's Lamborghini add or subtract to the mystique? I'm gonna say
Wait, does his
subtract.
what?
I
Kind
did
of
not know he had a
subtracts.
Lamborghini.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I
Never
don't either,
mind.
actually.
That takes
Yeah.
an inch off of the.
I
So we're
agree.
back
the
to
beard.
6
Yeah,
I
foot.
agree.
I don't know. We might be at 5'11".
We're back to where we
I
started?
think we're back at his original height.
Ask the
I
Bench.
got
would
to
you be,
meet Tony. There is no way that man is 5'11".
would you be smoke or stack?
I don't get it.
Oh, you have to see Sinners. Never mind. Ask the Bench. If you tell your AI friend to emulate T-Bob, does it stop texting back?
Yeah.
Okay.
It loses its phone, yeah.
Okay, relax. Ask the Bench. What's the first and last 8 numbers of your debit card? Hold on. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Blake Lively is reportedly buying a dire wolf. Can Alondra get an extended segment to report on this story?
I can try to see what I can find on it.
I know someone whose mom's like working. I know, they
With
don't
the
work for
direwolves?
they don't work for that company, but they're like, I don't know if they're an accountant or whatever, but they're working with the company that's doing it. But they're also doing woolly mammoths.
Yeah.
Blue cheese or ranch
And
with wings?
dodo birds.
Blue
Ranch.
cheese or ranch with
Ranch
wings?
is the
Blue
only
cheese.
correct
Ranch.
answer. Ooh.
Blue cheese.
Ranch.
Blue
Ooh.
cheese. Be an adult. Grow up. Grow up.
Later, guys. Oh, I misread your hands. I thought we were already there.
Yeah, well.
Off the bench.
Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. You also are misreading female hands and signals and whatnot because you lost your mojo. Well, baby, you want to get it back, you go to Goodwood. Okay, you get your labs drawn. You figure out exactly what's going on inside your body. Maybe you're low T. Okay? And, the data. Speaking of metadata, the data, the long-term data that we are getting on HRT is incredible and how it helps fight the aging process, how positive and healthy it is for you. But maybe you're not looking. The point is, whatever it is, you're suffering from ED, lack of energy, lack of confidence. You just don't get the gains that you used to. We can help you with all of this with a customized plan for you, but you have to take the first step. So let's reach our full potential here in this year of the Lord 2025. Go to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website, LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net, powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game.